Matt Scraby inside the Odyssey Palace Studios, getting set for 4 hours of sports talk on a bit of a rainy day out there. So take your time, relax. We'll get you home safely and hopefully entertain a little bit along the way. We got a lot to get done. Sam Levitt is going to join us from spring training in a little bit, where today the Padres made it official, or Craig Stammen made it official. I think what most of us already knew, that Mason Miller will indeed be the closer this year. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second.
You should have had your
yeah, right.
ready.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly shocking news, but
I'm late on the cameras, so
a little behind there. Americans won 2 gold medals today. I mentioned that because Scraby is only agreed to do 2 Olympic updates per week, and today is not one of those days. So I have to
the reason
update everybody on
Can
that.
we go back to this? Because I wanted to do it every day, and you guys said no. I don't want
I
it
don't
every
remember
day.
what you're talking about.
I'm going to go back and
what
find
you're
this.
talking
I'm going to go back and find this.
Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what they won in, just in case you want to watch later on, because if you're like me, you don't like to hear all the results ahead of time. And I wanted, we're definitely talk about this Mason Miller thing and the fact that, you know, for a while he was being thought of as a starting pitcher. But I came up with something more important, guys. I have come to I have done a little investigating here, and I have solved something that I imagine bothered many San Diego sports fans last night who were trying to watch SDFC on television.
This was a deal.
In the second match of their first round against the Puma team. And, well, I don't know. What do you call them? The
Pumas.
Okay, the Pumas. SDFC at Puma. It was in Mexico City, so I know all the soccer fans were glued to the television on Fox Sports 2. And all of a sudden, midway through the second half, the Iowa State TCU basketball game popped in. It's pretty obvious what happened, isn't it, everybody? Braden Surprenant. Braden Surprenant.
First of all, I don't get Fox Sports 2, so I didn't even.
You didn't even know
I was
this
looking for it
happened.
on Apple TV, and it was like, nah, we
you
not
had to go to
starting
Fox
on there
Sports 2. Iowa State TCU got switched over to Fox 2 because apparently the earlier game on Fox 1 wasn't over yet, so they switched the TCU game to Fox 2. Braden Surprenant pushing the button, obviously. And so if you're watching the SDFC, it's like the game just disappeared, apparently. Like there was no warning. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
And now you had a basketball game. And then, according to Mark Ziegler's story today in the paper, and Mark's always on this stuff, once the earlier game was over and they could have brought Iowa State and TCU back to the original network, it still took them 10 more minutes to switch off of Fox Sports 2.
Wow. So
So I guess the people trying to watch our match last night, missed quite a bit of the second half. So, send it courtesy of Odyssey Sports. Attention, Braden Surprenant. He obviously wanted to.
I can't believe he did that.
I can't believe he would do something like that just for his.
It's kind of right up his alley.
It is up his alley as a horned frog.
As long as he gets to see his horned frog.
He saw his horned frogs. We did not
He's
get
only
to
a
see
horned frog fan when it fits his narrative.
That's
'cause
most
then
of
he's
the
a
time.
Tennessee fan.
I don't know. When we walk in here on almost a daily basis, he's got something from the Horned Frog update. So I don't know there. Anyway, SDFC did advance. So if you got disgusted and turned off the TV because you thought they were done covering the match, they did advance, and that's the good news. I'm still getting used to all this, Tony and Scraby. They advanced with a 1-0 loss to the Pumas.
Yeah.
That's strange, but we have to figure this how it works now. Yeah,
It's aggregate. So
Right.
they played 2 matches.
Mhm.
SDFC won 4-1 in that first one.
So they actually started last night with a 4-1 lead.
Exactly. So in essence, they won 4-2
Right.
in this match.
Yeah, and I guess from what again I'm reading Ziegler's story today, the goalkeeper for SDFC was off the charts last night because Pumas were pressing.
They needed those goals
because they needed goals to catch up, and the goalkeeper said So SDFC moves on, and as I understand it, they're taking on the defending La Liga champions or the Mexican Liga champions in the next round. So
we're gonna try.
There you go.
We're gonna try to get someone on to talk about it. Hopefully, we get Darren on.
Yeah, look, this is a great start to their season. Again, I mean, here we are in February, and we're already talking some soccer. So good on SDFC. Congrats for advancing there. All right, we're going to get into the Mason Miller thing here, and again, not a shocker. We would play you the sound from Craig Stammen making the announcement, but apparently all he said was, Mason Miller's the closer. Yeah. So there's your sound.
There was no dramatic soundbite.
Nothing dramatic leading up to it.
No, it wasn't like a 45-second, thought process, and then Mason Miller will be our closer. It was.
There you have.
I like this Craig Stammen. Just gets right to the point.
Get right to the point. Absolutely. It is kind of. I mean, I don't know. Did they ever really think about making him a starter, or did we, as the media, with nothing to write about in December and January, say, well, Mason Miller has dabbled in starting, so let's pretend that the Padres are thinking about it.
I think,
or were they really thinking about it?
I guess how deeply did that conversation? Because I think AJ was pretty upfront that
he seemed clear
that they were going to have a discussion, and he kind of alluded to the fact that if it's something that Mason really is leading the way on, then that was kind of be it. But then we heard from Mason at some point during off season, and he seemed to kind of indicate that, listen, I'm really, really good at this.
I see no reason to change.
Right.
I mean, I know he could be maybe he could be a lights out starter, and I think that would be certainly helpful to have, every fifth day. But I think having this guy, he's a threat, Tony, even without getting up and warming up. Because he's there if you're the opposition. And I didn't remember this. AJ Cassavell reminding me in his story today, Mason Miller faced 9 Cubs in the playoffs.
Oh, I remember this very well.
He struck out 8 of them.
Yeah.
Only one guy hit the ball.
Yeah,
come on.
And he was throwing 104 consistently.
He was making these really good big leaguers look like they didn't belong. That's how good he was.
And, of course, he had the immaculate inning, which brought Brian Lawrence back to the forefront there a couple of months ago. And his immaculate inning, if I recall, Tony, was 9 sliders in a row, wasn't it? He didn't even have to give him a sign.
Mr. Snappy was out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but having that guy on our side and coming into a game, he'll blow a save or two, right? Nobody makes it through unscathed.
I don't know if we'll ever see a Gagne-like streak.
Didn't Gagne go 80 games in a row or something?
Yeah.
But Mason Miller, this is as good and comfortable a feeling as I think you can have. And, getting word that Jason Adam is, the big story on him in the paper today by Kevin Acey. And, Jason is on track to be back. The 8th inning, I used to say it before Mason Miller ever got here. I always felt more comfortable in the 8th inning than I did the 9th because of Jason Adam. He's another guy that doesn't mess around. So you're looking at 7-inning games, and when you also throw in Morejon or Estrada, you better get some runs in the first 3 or 4 innings.
To be clear, you were comfy with the 8th because Mason Miller was throwing the 8th. Jason Adam.
No, but I was comfortable with Jason Adam when he was the 8th inning guy.
Yeah. No, Jason's been pretty solid.
Pretty good.
Excuse me. He's been better than pretty solid. He's been phenomenal.
By the way, MLB Network, any network that still employs Brian Kenny, I sometimes have an issue with, but I try to look past it and enjoy MLB Network. They rated the top relievers in baseball, top closers. You know how to do that?
He got a couple responses from this, too.
Who did? Brian Kenny?
I don't know if whoever did the list.
Okay.
I think it was more MLB getting.
Okay. So Mason Miller was number 2.
Yes.
So you think, okay, who's the number 1 closer right now in Major League Baseball? And, I'll let you think on it for a second out there because I wouldn't have said this. They went with Aroldis Chapman right now as the best closer in the league. Now, he did have a bounce-back year, but that's what it was, Tony. He was a bounce-back year. He had been kind of, out the off the charts there for 2 or 3 years.
I don't know about that.
No, you don't think so?
I think last year was definitely a bounce-back year. He had a rough year the year before.
Okay.
But He's been a dominant closer for
yes, he has
as long as I can remember.
When did you face him in that famous at bat? I mean, that's how long he's been in the league
2010.
now. Wow.
Yeah.
So he's going on 15 years of doing this.
Right. And he's still throwing 100. Like he was throwing 105, then he's dropped off and he's throwing like 100 now.
I just remember the at bat that Manny.
And I think Mason's probably the only reason why he's not number one is that maybe he didn't close last year when he came over to Padres. He was the eighth inning guy. So now full blown Padre closer. I expect he'll be number one when the year's all said and done.
I just remember though when Chapman faced Manny in that game 2 years ago, was it in Pittsburgh? When Chapman threw him, was it one of those sliders or something, and Manny just laughed. I mean, that tells you how good that pitch is.
That's how
if the hitter just laughs at it and goes, "Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to?" And even Chapman laughed on that one because he's like, "Wow, he didn't expect to throw it like that." So, all right, that's the news. Padres have themselves Mason Miller. We knew that was likely. Now it is a full-blown sure thing. Gwynn and Chris is underway. That is a sure thing. Hope you'll sit back, relax, enjoy as we get rolling here from the Bill House Studios. We know how on 97.3 The Fan.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melancons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There's some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife, and now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates, and then however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres, and so I was in on some Zoom calls to start that process. And then we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it, and he goes, "Well, I think I got you at the top of the list." And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager, but it's also like exciting to prove people like who I really am and what I stand for, and, maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But, those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was so, you've done it before. It's like fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, like, that feeling of what I was as a player, like, when's my next workout? When's my next throwing session? That constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back like right away. And it was like, I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife, Audrey, on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that.
2:17 on this gray Wednesday afternoon. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matthew Scraby.
I'm often critical of a lot of things, so the weather people shouldn't feel special.
Oh, no.
But I think our weather people in general do not the best job. I was told Sunday that it was going to rain all day yesterday. We made plans to work around our golf game, our Tuesday golf game. And, of course, yesterday was perfectly sunny all day long. But the weather people got me back this morning, Tony, because I was out on my morning walk with my wife. I was wearing just long sleeves but no hat. We still had about 25 minutes left in the walk, and it unloaded on me. So I felt like I was getting my comeuppance from the weather people. They're like, hey, you want to rip us for not raining? Where is it going to rain now?
I have a theory on that. I think we don't get much practice with reading weather.
With reading that?
No,
I mean, how expensive are those radars that they bring in and look at?
I mean, I don't know. They don't get much work here.
So that's your
that's my theory. It's like,
that's your theory.
Sometimes we miss it every now and then.
All right,
because it's
Chris
very
has
unpredictable.
I'm going to leave it at
Chris
that.
Feuds with some very random
He does.
people, and meteorologists are one of them.
I like them personally. I want to be on record as saying that I've met many of them, and I like them personally. I just think
one of our friends' wife is a meteorologist.
I know their prognostications are off far too much for my liking, and I still am angry about the storm. Was it not 2 years ago?
The hurricane.
The hurricane that was going to tear roofs off houses. You remember that one, Tony?
That was kind of wild.
That was a little
But
much.
we know why Chris... So. I think we... It just came to me.
All right.
This is why Chris doesn't like meteorologists.
Why?
It's because your wife asks you to bring everything in every time there's rain on the TV.
As soon as we got word that I had to tie the dog to the chair because she was worried it was going to fly away.
So anytime there is a chance of rain, Chris is...
He just has flashbacks immediately.
Yes. It's all just clicked in my brain.
Tony and I have kicked this around before too, but you're right. In the winter, we take in all of the outdoor furniture because it might get wet. Tony's like, it's outdoor furniture. That's the whole point. It can withstand some of that.
It's supposed to get
My
a little
wife
wet.
doesn't subscribe to that.
Yeah,
no, bring it in. Oh, it's sunny today. Can you bring the outdoor furniture back outside?
And then it doesn't rain, and then he has to put it all back out
anyway,
and then it starts raining once he puts it out.
It's one of the things. You're right, Script. You're on it.
Pitchers and catchers reported to spring training today. We had a nice crowd there yesterday, as Craig Stammen spoke to reporters yesterday. But today, in his first, I think, official scrum.
Wait, hold on. I didn't didn't really ask, even though it was on my mind yesterday, but everybody showed up voluntarily yesterday.
Right. Today is the first official
couldn't wait.
pitchers and
They
catchers.
just
I
couldn't
mean,
wait
that's
to get out
amazing.
there.
I love that.
I believe Monday is the first full team practice that'll take place.
What's a practice like, Tony? Is it just an infield? Is it cut off?
I actually have the rundown from today. If
Okay,
you'd like
give
to
me
know.
just a we always say they're out practicing. What do they actually do?
It's a great question.
Stand there and talk.
There's definitely some standing around and
There
talking.
is a little
and
talking. Okay.
catching up. All right. So today, the clubhouse opened at 7 a.m.
All right.
Little medical update, I think, amongst the staff at 8:30. Pitchers and catchers welcome 9 o'clock.
Little
today.
welcome meeting.
Yes. Stretch for the guys who had bullpens was at 10:05. The non-hot pitchers today in Group 1, you had Musgrove, Vasquez, Hoeing, Acosta, and Jacob.
Non-hot. What's
non-hot,
that mean?
meaning
I mean, they're
they
not
weren't throwing today, is what I believe that means.
Yeah.
Their stretch started at 10:30 and so on and so forth. So they'll go, considering it's just pitchers and catchers.
Oh, that's right. We're not getting a full practice.
Right.
So.
And I'm sure you probably didn't even get PFP today.
Pitcher's fielding practice.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Which is, for those who don't know. Look, I mean, as a pitcher, I remember practice like the back of my hand at San Diego State. And I know you're aware of this, Tony. I don't know that your dad kept with this tradition.
Oh, check that. I stand corrected.
Oh.
So
there was some PFP.
Yes, indeed there was. Non-hot pitchers, stretch 10:30, throw 10:40, PFP rotation 11, 11:10, 11:20, 11:30.
So that means that
conditioning at 11:50. So this was about an hour, 30 minutes process.
So what you're saying is Orion Kerkering, the Philly who boxed up the National League Championship Series on that comebacker.
Oh,
had been getting practice on that since March.
I'm sure there was an old coach that reminded him of right as he hit the first one to him.
Oh,
right.
Man.
Yeah. Hey, Orion,
Let's make sure we
what
get
are you
this
doing
right
with this
year?
when it gets back to you?
What if he just as a joke did the same thing and just to
I don't think they joke like that.
I don't think he's going to joke about it because I saw an article about him. The guy's had to go psychological counseling.
I bet.
Not to that, but he's really struggled with it.
So I'm sure he's locked in on the PFP, as all these guys are this time of year.
And when you cover first base, I mean, really by the mid-April, you should have it almost every time. Yes. Unless you're Garrett Cole in the World Series, then you don't run over there.
Listen, everybody's going to have sometimes you have a mental lapse. It definitely happens.
That's true.
So that was a really unfortunate time.
That was a bad time.
You'd rather have it in April than in October. By the way.
I mean, I covered first base so much, Tony, that I sometimes when I watch a game on TV, I jump off the couch and run over when there's a ground ball to first base. It's like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite pastimes when I could actually run was dragging that ball and hitting it hard enough so that the first baseman had to come get it. It was just a foot race between me and
first baseman. If you
hesitated at all,
you're done.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I never liked that play. I didn't like people like you who attempted it.
Sure. And if I knew that, I was going to try extra hard to do it
more. Yeah.
Stan was asked about the starting rotation today during that scrum. I know that's what we were getting to. We didn't quite get to it.
Oh, it's all good.
Here's what he had to say.
The state of the rotation, I feel like, is we got good pitchers, so that's always good, and we got good pitchers to choose from. Obviously, it's headlined with Joe, Nick, and Michael. Feel good about those three, and then there's competition for 4, 5, 6, and 7.
What do you view what Randy did last season, the way he progressed as the season went on, the way he kind of started to miss bats at the end? How did he kind of throw himself into that mix and that conversation this season?
Yeah, I think Randy, you can look at all the underlying statistics and say, he's due for some regression and all that kind of stuff, but there's also being able to get out of those situations that we should give him credit for that also. And him ending the season with an ERA, I think, under 4, that's not easy to do in the big leagues. So, obviously he's probably got the inside track to one of those last 2 spots. He pitched great for us last year, and especially how he ended the season. That's kind of what we envisioned for Randy, getting better as he's gotten a little older and gotten more opportunity. And he showed up to camp in great shape. He showed up to camp looking a lot like that guy in September.
It is always, it's just never surprising when, we've been penciling Randy in for that 4 spot. But when it gets down to spring training, it's still competition.
He's still better go out there and get some people out.
It's still competition. You got to come up show up. And I think the things that kind of caught my ear was, Stam wanting to give credit to.
I like that.
Give credit to Vasquez for being able to get out of those situations. But to me, the mere fact that he's bringing it up only means that they want him to not be in that type of situation as much this year. That would be his next step, right? He did a phenomenal job of getting out of trouble when he created it for himself this year. The year before, he couldn't get out of that trouble.
You know what? I have the solution again, just like I discovered the Braden Surprenant thing, pushing the button and taking everybody off the game last night for the TCU basketball. The minute I finally had enough of Randy Vasquez on my fantasy team last year with the 4 innings, I think I finally just released him or whatever I did. September, 6 innings, 7 innings, 1 hit, was throwing 90 pitches. He was a legit starter in September, and he went 3-1, and he was getting, a full round of it.
That's what Sam was alluding to. He said he looks like he came back in the same way that he left in September. And again, I said it the other day, if Vasquez could take that next step forward,
that's
and
big.
Give them a real number 4, they got something working there. Obviously, that not really being the only kind of thing that everybody's talking about. Sungmun Song is the new signee for the Padres. Stan was asked about him as well.
Sungmun has showed up in actually pretty good health, probably better than we expected. Obviously when you have a little oblique injury, those can go sideways if you try to come back too soon. But I think the medical staff did a really good job trying to communicate with his people back in Korea and taking it easy until he got to the States. And I think him having a baby in that time period also slowed him down a little bit too, which was good. But he's been out here on the field for a couple of days, done some work. He looks really good. All kind of excited about, what he looks like fielding ground balls, the swings he's been taking in the cage. So excited about him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are very curious about Sungmun Song. I think people think, at least initially, they think about Ha-Sung.
Yeah.
And his trajectory before he became the fan favorite. Actually, I take that back. He was probably a fan favorite even before he got really good. But I don't know. I think maybe the Padres are kind of hoping that it doesn't take him as long as it took.
Oh, I hope, yeah, no question. I mean, look, Ha-Sung Kim started in 2021. So you're looking at 5 years ago. Little different to me, maybe the development of Sungmun Song for 5 years later, getting maybe a little better pitching, seeing some, more lively arms. The whole thing with Ha-Sung was catching up to the fastball. He had the 622 OPS that first year. But after that, turned into a pretty good player for us.
Yeah, he did.
If I was asking questions about Sungmun Song, I'd have no interest in where he's playing or his batting average. I just ask Tony Patrica down there in the locker room if they could find a helmet that fits him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because if it flies off, then they're going to never stop comparing him to Ha-Sung Kim.
No, we'll have a bobblehead, I'm sure, with it flying off as well. Let's get to break. On the other side, Sam Levitt is down in AZ, and we're going to catch up to him when we return. More Gwynn and Chris.
Gwynn and Chris.
Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. From that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you're just seeing the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back-to-back. I mean, it's just, City of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, And I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well. And they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded. You know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. Feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are.
Really
the Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
What are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we gotta continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back-to-back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, and I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well, and they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded, you know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. Feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are.
Really
the Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
What are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we gotta continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back-to-back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride.
We always get serious when Sam Levitt is in the building.
Have to.
Yeah, no fun allowed. This is important stuff. Sam is down in Peoria, Arizona with the Padres. ready to join us and file a little spring training report. Hi, Sam Levitt. How are you?
Hi, guys. Give me 1 second. I messed up my equipment. Hold on.
Oh,
no.
no.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
While he's doing that, bring him down.
This button is being very, very stubborn.
Okay. I just want
to hear you now.
All right. Now he can hear me.
Now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sam, we hear you, but I just want to point out, I'm not the only one who struggles with the button on the equipment.
I knew that was coming.
I feel like I get lambasted for it every time, but guess what? Even the veteran Sammy Levitt can have.
Well,
those
some of these
issues.
units have bad buttons, and I think I know
see.
which
You're
unit.
blaming the unit. Okay.
Yeah, it's a touch screen, and it wasn't touching properly. But I'm good now. I got you. I'm good. Everything in Peoria is good. Airbnb is nice. Back in the same spot that I've actually been the last couple of years, so it's a familiar place.
Did they welcome
good,
you back?
and,
is it the same staff or anybody similar staff? Did anybody remember you?
He's at
the Airbnb.
Yeah,
Airbnb. This is
Airbnb.
No, this is
yeah.
Airbnb. This is you're on your own.
I got you.
But it is. I will say it is nice. It is nice to come back to the same place and have a little familiarity. So it's good. And hey, first 2 days of spring training, generally, unless you get bad injury news, the vibes are pretty good and pretty relaxed and pretty high. And it's certainly been that way the first couple of days.
Sam, as you've been out there the last couple of days, I mean, what's the energy level? Like, guys typically come to spring training pretty excited to kind of get the band back together. You got all the pitchers there. They, of course, some of those guys have already spent some time at what's camp? What's Joe's number?
44.
Camp 44. What's been the vibe like outside of kind of the coaching staff?
Yeah, I think high. Look, the first couple of days, certainly one of the things that I think was a highlight, Joe Musgrove just being back on the mound and looking good and all the things, the intangibles that I think he brings to this team and to this pitching staff. Seeing a Michael King, seeing a Nick Pivetta back, it gives you, I think, a real sense of confidence in what the top of that rotation can do. Look, it's a good energy. I think the first couple of days, Craig Stammen, what you see is what you get. He's a really good guy who's really comfortable in his own skin. And I think is in a pretty unique spot as a first-year manager, as a guy who is so close to his playing career, as a guy who has been teammates with some of the major guys in that clubhouse. So, to me, everything to this point has pointed in the right direction. You look at the strengths of this team, the top of the rotation, certainly the bullpen. I mean, I was talking about it with somebody today. It's very, very rare when you enter spring training and you look at a bullpen, and I can make the argument to you right now that even without Jason Adam, let's assume that Jason's not going to be ready for opening day. You can make the argument that I could give you what the bullpen's going to be right now if I assume Bradley Rodriguez has a good chance to be in there and Brian Hoeing has a good chance to be in there. Guess what? You start going Yuki Matsui, Wandy Peralta, and the rest of the guys who we know, and I might be able to tell you what the bullpen is right now, and I just feel like that's really rare. So obviously some of the position guys are here, and that's been good to see those guys here early, but look, I look around baseball, to be honest with you, the first couple of days, you see the Corbin Carroll injury, the Francisco Lindor injury, the Jackson Holiday injury, and that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as some of the injuries we've seen. And knock on wood, Padres have not had any news like that the first couple of days, which I think is part of why everything feels very upbeat right now.
Sammy Levitt joining us from spring training, presented by David P. Shapiro, the fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. By the way, Sam mentioned that Corbin Carroll thing. That didn't come down all that long ago, so you may not have heard, but he's broken his hamate bone apparently and is undergoing surgery.
Yeah.
And so he may or may not be ready for the start of the season. That is certainly significant.
Jackson Holiday has the same exact injury.
Baltimore's
another broken
young player. Yeah, so those are significant.
Just so you guys know, we don't need any like deep dives into why all of the broken handmakes. It's like the third one. I'm sure people are like, what's going on?
There's a story on MLB.com if you want to read it, Tony. They wrote it today.
The year of the hammy is the title.
They didn't mess around.
It's coming. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Sammy Levitt's hamate, we figure is fine. What are you working on at spring training this year, Sam? Any maybe a little different way of presenting some of your questions, the way you approach some of the athletes? Are you trying to improve your game at all, or you feeling pretty comfortable with your attack plan there?
I feel pretty comfortable. I would say that, I think for me, honestly, I think spring training is not really the time to quote unquote work on stuff because it's kind of on. Yeah, it's kind of on. I mean, you're doing your interviews and you're asking your questions. So I think the off season is the time really for career development.
Well, you were busy shooting all of those videos of you getting out of bed. I don't know if you had a chance to practice as much as usual.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. If I don't show social media how I tie my shoes, then I'm in trouble.
They don't think it happens if you don't show.
Exactly. But no, I mean, look, I think it's a good time of year, both for myself and for others to talk to the guys. It's a very, as you guys know, very relaxed environment. I don't think you, for lack of a better term, get this level of sort of chill at any point during the regular season. It's just more relaxed, and the access to the players is great. For me right now, the first couple of days, I kind of, just because it's such a long spring training and I have so many days and opportunities to do interviews, first few days here, I generally try to just talk to guys off camera, say hello, how was your off season? You have a good winter? Kind of stick to some of the scrums that go on, and just sort of kind of set the base level for the rest of the spring and the rest of the season, and kind of reestablish my relationships with the guys. But from a spring training standpoint, I'm doing the same thing. I mean, we'll do lots of interviews and we'll do the radio hits, and I think we've put out a ton of videos on social media the first couple of days. My goal is to be the sort of the eyes and ears of the fan at spring training and let people inside that aren't here. So first couple of days, I think we've accomplished that.
I just want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Levitt is a pro. All right, and I'm gonna explain to you why he's a pro. He has this one ability that many people don't have, and it's a rare ability. It's called reading the room. All right, and the first couple of days as a player, when you get there,
you don't want the guy running you over in the locker room.
You can't appear to be thirsty. You have to kind of, as Sam is doing an excellent job, kind of,
ease your
way into these relationships again. You don't want to just pop in the first day and be like, hey, let me grab you for like 15 minutes and we can chop shop here. No, I mean, let's.
I've been saving up a bunch of questions for you.
Like real people, like people your colleagues. You kind of ease your way into it. Sam, and kind of displaying that.
I think this year in particular, a couple other thoughts on that. There's a new staff.
Yep.
A bunch of those guys I don't know. Now there are familiar faces on the staff as well, but a good example, Randy Knorr and Steven Souza Jr. I've never met them in my life. So, Steven spoke with the media yesterday, but later in the day, I went up to him and said, hi, I'm Sam. I'm, I'm pre and post game guy, and, made kind of, try to make sure that he knows my name for the next time that we speak. So there's a little bit of that going on with the new staff. And you're right. Look, I think a lot of times I almost reintroduce myself to some of these guys. Not everybody.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Guys who have been there for a few years and I've known now for 4 or 5 years. I don't have to do that necessarily, but there are guys that were up and down from AAA last year where I don't know that they necessarily remember my name. They don't have to remember my name. So, there's a little bit of that. Like the first few days, I like to kind of, from an interview standpoint, other than scrums, which I'm going to be at, kind of ease my way into it a little bit.
And I point out that it's a different role than maybe AJ Cassavell or Dennis Lynn, because, Sam is in essence a part of the team. They're going to see Sam, guys. Right. They're going to see Sam every day. And so he's approaching it the right way. Sam, obviously pitchers and catchers have started to do their thing. Mm-hmm. First day for position players is when?
I think it's Sunday.
Okay. First full practice is Monday. I do know that, but
it's Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, is Monday. I think it's Sunday. Don't quote me. I should know that off the top of my head.
How,
But I
how many guys are? How many of the
day it is.
position players?
Quite a few
are out there right now.
Yeah, quite a few. I mean, as of yesterday and today, Jackson Merrill, Ramon Laureano, Xander Bogaerts, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth. There are others as well. Bryce Johnson. I'm trying to think who else I've seen. There are others that I'm not including, but those are the major guys that are there, which is great to see. And those guys, are taking swings. Miguel Andujar arrived today and was doing work, I think, with Vinny Lopez, on some of the backfields. And now this is something I'm going to keep an eye on and is interesting. I saw Miguel Andujar with a first baseman's mitt on. I did not see him do any work with the mitt. I got there a little bit too late. So I'm not going to tell you his first day as a Padre.
They were introducing themselves to one another.
Yeah, but that's interesting. If he's taking reps at first base, that would raise my antenna a little bit because he has not played there a lot, but it would be kind of a slot where you could play him. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself there because I didn't see it. And again, you know what it is, Tony? I also, one thing I try to do early on, I try not to take something I see and make it a bigger deal than what it is.
It's very easy to.
If I see a hitter, and there's one I'm thinking of in particular the last couple of days, but I'm not even going to tell you who it is because I don't want to make it a story. If I see them doing something differently in their setup, I don't know, on February 10th on a backfield when they're not even at report date yet, am I really going to
Great point.
dive into that? I mean, maybe at some point, if I start seeing it more, you go and ask them about it. But, same thing with hey, had a first baseman's glove on. I just, it's not even their report date yet.
Yeah.
So I don't want to read into that too much. But those are the guys that certainly are here and getting, early work in, which is, always good to see.
I would like to be interrupted on the show the next time you see anybody with a first baseman's glove on, Sam.
Yeah.
Stop everything.
Well, I do think with the Andujar piece of it, I do think if he's really getting a lot of reps over there, I do think that'll be worth noting. I just don't know that I'm ready to do that on day one with the Padres.
I think it would be smart of Miguel Andujar. I mean, he played third base a while ago. He's not going to play there very often, and I don't see him in the outfield often with what the Padres have. Sam Levitt is with us. Sam, this is your own opinion. You don't have any insight on this question, but it was brought up the other day that, if a first baseman became available, like a good everyday first baseman, solid guy that's done it before, the name that was mentioned is Christian Walker. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody of that ilk. Would you be willing to trade a young up-and-coming reliever like a Bradley Rodriguez, perhaps, because you're so deep in the bullpen, to give yourself an everyday more of a sure thing at first base?
I'd consider it. I think the more you look at this team, and it always comes, I think, into a bit of a clearer picture once you get here to spring training, because you really start looking at the guys and thinking about the roster. Man, I think this bullpen could be really, really good. Really, really good. And I do think dealing from a position of strength and luxury wouldn't be a crazy idea if that was sort of a centerpiece in a deal for something you really need. And if you want to use Christian Walker as an example, not only can he play first base, but he hits for a lot of power, which that would serve two needs. So, and then allow you to kind of shift guys down the roster and, push Gavin Sheets back into a little bit of a different role potentially. And even, you want to throw Andujar in that conversation as well. So, it would intrigue me. And that bullpen group, whether you're talking about Bradley Rodriguez or some of the other guys that are more established, not that I'm trying to move a Mason Miller or Adrian Morejon. I understand how good they are and how valuable they are, but a guy like Walker is pretty valuable too. Yeah. So, I'd sit down and have the conversation about it if that's something that's on the table. Yeah.
Sam Levitt joining us, giving us his spring training point of view. And Sam, obviously, this rotation at the top specifically, you mentioned just Joe getting back on the mound was probably really nice to see. You got Pivetta, you got King back. At some point, I'm sure One of you guys is going to pitch that question to Stam. Who's going to get the opening day start? I'm going to ask you right now, based off of just your 2 days, who do you think it's going to be?
I would think it's going to be Pivetta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Joe would be cool for a lot of reasons, but it kind of feels like it's got to be Pivetta after what
he's kind of earned it,
year.
right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would think it's going to be Pivetta. Yeah. Joe would be cool. That'd be a really cool moment for him and the city and the Padres, but I feel like he probably would even say it should be Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, I think he would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way,
the Tigers struggled against Randy Vasquez last year. No.
Well, speaking, I was actually going to bring Randy up.
Actually, I don't think they did, if I recall that game. He didn't pitch great. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of Randy, that was one thing that Craig Stammen talked about today. And I think a lot of us have assumed that Randy's going to be in this rotation and have that number 4 spot. And it'll really be about the number 5 spot where there's a real opening and battle. And obviously that if somebody gets signed of significance, then things change a little bit. But, even with that said, it's not like Craig Stammen today came out and said, he is not, to me, grouping Randy in the other
not.
3.
No, he's not.
He said inside track.
He said it. He basically said it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Randy has earned certainly a strong inside track. I would be very, 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 very surprised if Randy is not in this rotation at this point. And by the way, Craig Stammen spoke glowingly about him and what he did last year and how he's developed and the continued development that they're trying to get from him. But again, you never know. If Randy doesn't have a good spring and there are other guys that are shining, who knows? And obviously a signing or two could change a lot as well. But I did think that was interesting today that Craig sort of stopped short at putting Randy in that definitive conversation or that definitive group of starting pitchers, but did say, and I think this is absolutely true, that he has an inside track. But Randy, I think Randy should feel like, hey, yeah, he's in a good position, but he's got to put together a good spring.
Sammy Levitt, do we have another minute? Did you see Campusano yet? And what's his mood like? And what do you think the mood is around him? I think everyone's rooting for him. I see no reason not to root for him.
Yeah. Look, Luis is here, looks good, and is doing plenty of work behind the plate. And, look, the question for him is going to continue to be, if he is this team's number 2 catcher on opening day, really 2 questions. A is how can he handle the defensive part of it on the major league level? And B, is he going to be able to translate what he did at AAA last year and put it together from an offensive standpoint at the big league level? But, look, I haven't talked to a ton of people about Campusano yet, and I haven't talked to him yet. But, as we've talked about before, I think, probably only a good thing for him with a new staff and a fresh set of eyes on him. And seemingly what is a really nice opportunity for him once again, because right now, based on the guys in that room, he appears to be the second catcher behind Freddie Fermin, and certainly will have something to prove, I think, on both sides of the baseball, if he does indeed make the opening day roster.
I think we're ready. Man,
Indeed.
Spring training. I don't know if you can wait for Scraby and I. We're not going to be there for 5 more weeks, Sam. So you have to bide your time and make do with Tony. I know he's heading down here soon. But thanks for everything. Have a great week. And, we're glad you're there and look forward to catching up with you as we go along.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Yes, Tony, Peoria is waiting for you.
He's aware. It's beckoning. It's beckoning.
I will see it very soon, my friend.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Sam Levitt in Peoria, Arizona with the Padres spring training 2026. And if you did miss it, just tuning in, the news of the day is that Craig Stammen did make it official today that Mason Miller will be the closer. Sam Levitt from spring training, presented by the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. They've been doing it since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Was that really the Lakers last night? I wonder if Tony even watched the game. We'll have a result in our daily gambit of their attempt against the Spurs. I'll be honest with you, Tony, the Lakers played guys I've never even heard of before. Didn't even know they were like NBA players.
Sounds about right. They had 5 guys out. So
yeah. Anyway, daily gambit kicking off hour 2.
Welcome into hour number 2 here on Gwynn and Chris, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby. First hour really spent getting ourselves acquainted with spring training. Padres in their full capacity, not full capacity, half capacity, right? Pitchers and catchers, all there, having a good old time, throwing the old leather around a little bit.
Throwing the old leather.
Speaking of throwing the old leather around, it made me remind me back. Could you imagine that in the before?
I gotta turn this off so I can do this.
Yeah, you can't have two of them at the same time.
I'm going way back now, but in the 40s, that when the inning was over, the guys ran off the field
Left
and
their
left
gloves?
their gloves
Yeah.
out there.
No.
So they're sharing?
Yes.
Some of them shared, some of them just left it out on the grass, and the guy brought his own or whatever.
Leaving my
tool
behind.
Could you imagine
for someone else to spit on, step on,
whatever?
Wow.
You have run off a baseball field in your life at the end of an inning thousands of times.
Yes.
You have never done it not carrying your glove.
Not a once.
You would feel so weird.
I would
running from center field.
I
to
wouldn't
the
allow it
dugout
to happen.
without it.
They would have had to explain to me why I was leaving my glove.
Yeah,
everybody's doing it. I don't care.
That's
I
what
don't
they
want
did.
Everybody putting their hand in my glove.
That's what they did. That's crazy.
No.
Crazy. I say.
Did we talk about the brawl yesterday? I don't know. Did we get into that?
Yeah, we did.
The malice at the new
boy.
malice in the palace, or wherever
this one
game?
stayed on the court, thankfully.
What's his name?
Right.
Isaiah something?
Isaiah Stewart.
He's
what do they call him? It's a meat gesture.
Meathead. Straight up. You don't have
He
to mess
seems
around
like
with
one.
it, yeah.
Well,
he came off the bench.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, if you are not on the court when an altercation happens, and if even a toe crosses the line, automatic suspension.
They put that in back in the day, and
it was. I believe it was after the
Knicks.
Sun. Was it Knicks?
I think it was Knicks Pacers.
Oh, you're right. Knicks Pacers or Knicks
right,
Heat.
in the
one
playoff or Heat. Yeah, but they started throwing guys out of games just for leaning forward.
Yeah. I mean, like if you just skipped or
Right.
tripped over that line.
So everybody knows this rule.
And
You
so
absolutely can't
not only
do it.
did Isaiah Stewart cross the line, he came
Well,
off.
once you cross the line, you may as well go punch some people.
And he proceeded to try to do as much as he possibly
Yeah.
could.
Do you see what he said today?
I did not see
Did
what he
he
said.
speak?
Let me make sure this is real because it's one of those. I'm like, I can't believe he actually said
Did
this.
he say something along the lines of what was I drafted for?
Yeah.
I think he did say that.
Okay, that's why he said he was drafted for that.
He was like basically he
Wants to come out and try to beat people
See, that's
up?
how Scrappy's
Come
gonna
on,
make it.
man.
What he was trying to say was, I was drafted as a Piston. I'm supposed to take up for my teammates.
Well,
And
we
that's-
agree with that.
That's what he considered.
I'll give
but you
that
can't
one,
you
but
can't be the only one that came off the bench though and was actually getting shots off.
Apparently, the rest of the players were not drafted to stick up for their teammates. Only
No, they're like,
you.
we don't want to get fined and or
Apparently not.
suspended.
And by the way, he escalated. At that point, it was all starting to calm down.
Yeah.
Until he came off, and then it got fired. But he got 7.
7 games
and-
is quite a bit.
I'm about to say, and I believe his biggest before was 4. He gets 7 this time, and mind you, we're already beyond. We're about to get halfway through
I don't know
the
what
season.
the rules are in the NBA because in a lot of things, and obviously in using drugs or illegal, stuff. You get like a 1, 2, 3, and you're out.
By the
thing.
way,
this is his 5th time getting suspended for fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more he's got to get before they just say enough's enough.
They dropped a 7 on him. Now, mind you, Steven Jackson pointed this out. He was given, I think, 30. He went into the stands.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we're subtracting from going into the stands and you get 30, I think it was 30. It might have been 20. He got 7. He got off lucky, I think, ultimately, especially considered how he came off the bench.
I
But
don't know how
nonetheless,
much more you can put up with that guy if you're in the NBA.
nonetheless, he gets 7. And we
The other guy's got 3 or 4.
Yeah, and the other guys got 3 or 4. We, on the other hand, will get to our daily gambit right now.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Duh, winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is a mortal lock.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
We're watching dual luge right now, or two, whatever it's called, doubles.
Double luge.
Yeah, and
luge M doubles.
I feel like I'm an expert on these things because you watch enough of those guys go down, you know where on the track that they can't go, or else they're going to get a bad time. So,
well, you were wrong because you thought he went too high up on the wall.
He went too high,
and they are beating, and they had the best run.
0.216. The Americans.
Don't be giving it away now. Everybody's going to try to watch that later
Chris,
tonight.
I don't think anybody really cares.
Really?
You don't.
Am I the only person that wants to watch an event without knowing the result? I don't believe that.
I think when the events are happening like 14, 15 hours ahead of us, I don't know that we could do anything to stay away from it.
And I think people are probably avoiding people like us right now if they do really want to.
But I don't want them to avoid us. I want
You
them
have to be really serious about the
want them to
Olympics.
feel comfortable listening to us, knowing that we're not going to give away the whole thing.
Chat, how many of you out there are mad at us if we give Olympic results?
You know what? You're in the palm of the hand of the chat. They all want to kiss up to you.
Since you're on the take.
Yeah, they all want to kiss up to you. So they just
Chris says you
defend
guys control Scraby. You guys, you guys can do some wild things. You should try to control them a little more.
Okay. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Spurs.
We know how.
We know how. Spurs minus 13.5 against the Lakers last night. Chris went Lakers. Tony and I went Spurs. Spurs won 136-108. Not even close.
Who was the starting point guard for the Lakers, Tony? Or you're the Laker guy.
Was it Bronny?
No, he didn't start. They had another guy in there.
Brown?
I got to look it up. Sorry, it's taking me an extra second.
Well, I'll just read
Kobe Buffkin.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's Kobe Buffkin.
Kobe Buffkin. So even you've never heard of this guy.
Can't say that.
He started last night.
From the chat, Scraby's always right. LO is wrong. I don't mind.
Right.
Don't make me come over there, LO. And then I do hate collage sports talk. They spell it like collage, but I'm thinking they mean college. Where it wasn't asking about the college sports, but thank you for weighing in.
Wow, we didn't even talk college today.
No. Clippers at Houston. Houston 8.5-point favorites. We all chose Houston. Rockets win the game, but they don't win by enough. 102-95. We lose that bet. Luke Kennard over under 12.5 points. You guys went over. I went under. He had 14 points in the game, so he went. You guys win that bet. Then who scored more, Kawhi -3 or Kevin Durant? Chris went KD. Tony and I went Kawhi. Kawhi had 24, so he's at 21, and Kevin Durant had 26. So Chris wins that one. Purdue at Nebraska. Nebraska -1.5 on the spread. Chris went Huskers. Chris and Scraby went Huskers. Tony went Purdue, and Purdue won 80-77.
That was a great comeback by Nebraska. They were way down. They forced overtime, got the ball, and inbounded down by 1. And the kid started dribbling up the court to get a last shot for Nebraska. Just fell right down. Lost the ball. Purdue picked it up.
Sniper got him.
Sniper got him,
Yeah.
Just fell right down. That was
I
ball
gotta
game.
see this. It's kind of funny to me.
Too bad.
Next game, Utah State -19.5 against Fresno State. We all went Fresno State. Utah State won 91-78, so not enough points for Fresno to win the bet. Duke -17.5 at Pitt. You guys went Pitt. I went Duke. Duke did win 70-54, so only 16 points. I lose the bet. And then men's hockey in the Olympics. Sweden -5.5 on the puck line against Italy. We all went Sweden. Sweden won 5-2. At one point, we were watching it here in the third period. It was 3-2. So these odds makers messed up.
Not totally, because if you looked at the shots on goal, Sweden had 60 shots on goal.
That's true. 220 for the Italians.
So it was a mismatch, but the Italian goalie kept them in the game. By the way, so no court storming Pitt and Duke because Duke won, but a good court storm in Miami's victory over North Carolina. So North Carolina got what they
Right. They just did to Duke the other day.
Wow.
That's right. So that's all goes around, and that's why I say John Shire, stop crier, be crier, whatever you are.
Stop crying.
Yeah, enough Shire. We don't want to hear it.
Shire the Crier.
Shire the crier. I like that one. All right, we got a couple of games coming up tonight. We'll get to those. USA Hockey makes their men's debut tomorrow. And there's going to be a good women's basketball tonight. I know the Aztec men are off. So if you got a basketball Jones tonight, come on out to Viejas. It's going to be a really excellent game.
Colorado State.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
And the Lady
Aztecs. Yeah,
Aztecs.
2 weeks ago they played I called it a slobber knocker.
Oh, that's right. It was a
44.
slobber knocker.
Nobody could score. So we'll see what happens to that. But it'll be a good game if you want to come out and see those kids. And Tony will get us there after he signs off this segment.
Look at you, Chris. That's what
I
I'm
just sent
talking
a
about,
text.
son. All right, let's get to break.
Oh, I didn't see
Hey,
the
no,
text.
you
just
already
sent
got
it.
us
I
there,
just
brother.
sent
I
it.
was
Okay.
me and him were.
I've never seen Tony so excited.
Let's get to break. We'll finish our bets on the other side. More going to Chris.
Looking for sled.
night. 21-0 Hawkeye. Oh,
Can
no,
you believe that?
Somebody said they did one update on the Iowa-Maryland game.
It's
funny.
Hawkeye Dave on YouTube says, I'm with Chris. Please don't give any updates on the Iowa-Maryland basketball game I'm recording. And
I
going
think
to
you're
watch
safe, Dave. I don't think the game has started, so you're fine. We probably won't get there. Yeah, there's a little sad news. It's kind of a loosely related to the world of sports, I guess, but James Vanderbeek, who was the star of Varsity Blues, the original movie.
I think everybody's favorite line in that is, I don't want your life. Yeah.
Yep, passed away today at the age of 48, which is way too early.
I've rolled my eyes at my wife saying that line.
Really?
For years.
Why would you ever roll your eyes? It's such a great line.
It's such a stupid line.
Here, I got it. Okay, we're going to listen to it in honor of James Vanderbeek.
All right, let's do it.
Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Man, that was great.
That was James there?
Yeah, telling his dad.
As the character what?
He's the star quarterback.
What was his name?
Oh gosh,
Trivia.
I couldn't tell
I
you.
wouldn't have known. I'm looking at it. That's
a Kane.
His name,
No,
his
not
name,
Kane.
His name was Mox.
Mox. That's it.
Yes, it is. It says
Kane
it right
was program.
Yes, program was Kane.
Anyway, so yeah, sad
they don't
news.
make a football movie like they used to.
They don't. The last really good, believable football movie was Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, that was great.
This last one that was filmed in a way that
That's at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
way more than 10
I think that was
years.
high school for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I run away from football movies.
Willie Beeman.
Pretty much automatic.
Willie Beeman.
All right, let's get some picks in before we get too into this here. We're going to start with the Celtics, 13.5 over the Bulls. So far, Tony, the Bulls' flurry of trades has netted them 4 consecutive losses. They don't look very good. I think they're just cashing in for.
Are they one of the tank teams now?
Yeah, we can get into that a little later. It's probably smart. They've been in the middle for so long. You might as well just tank. Boston, 13.5. I'll start, and I'm going to take Boston. I think the Bulls are just kind of phoning it in. It's the last game before the All-Star break, right? Tonight?
I believe
maybe
so.
Tomorrow. Who do you like, Tony? Boston at home, by the way. 13.5's a lot, but Boston, Scrape.
I guess I'll go with
You've
Boston.
had good luck with the Bulls, but not on this night. Second day in a row, Houston hosts the Clippers. 8.5. Same spread as it was last night when the Clippers covered. You're up first, Tony. Houston going to do it tonight by more than 8.5, or
I'll say the Clippers will cover.
go with the Clippers this time. Scraby?
I don't think Houston gets beat on the spread twice. I'm going to go Houston.
Houston. I'll go Houston also. By the way, playing back-to-back nights is not totally out of the question in the NBA anymore. The Bulls and Heat, about a week and a half ago, played 3 games in a row against each other. And that was the first time that had happened in the NBA since the early 70s.
What?
It was some sort of schedule quirk,
Snafu.
evidently, yeah. All right, Dylan the Villain back in action tonight. Maybe he's not the number one villain anymore now that this Detroit guy has stepped to the fore. Dylan the Villain and the Suns are hosting OKC. 19.5 points for the Villain. Scraby.
I'll go over.
Go over for the Villain. I still can never really root for the Villain. I'm not a fan.
I mean, it's kind of cool that his nickname is the Villain. I
That's
would
the
love
best
to be.
part of the guy is his nickname. I agree.
So you're going under?
Yes. Tony?
I'm going under.
All right. I brought this up because of the tanking story. Lauri Markkanen of the Jazz, 20.5 against Sacramento tonight. Now, this is, just touching on this story. The Jazz say they're not tanking, but Lauri Markkanen, their leading scorer, has apparently been taken out of the game after 3 quarters each of the last 4 or 5 games. And then the coach is asked about it, and he's like, "Nah, it's just coaching decision."
No, they asked him if
he's tanking,
if he
right,
would
yeah.
do it again,
Right.
or if.
No, I think they asked him, "Is there anything behind this or whatever?" And he said no. But clearly, nobody sits their best player out in the 4th quarter every game. You wouldn't think.
I think I think both of those guys played early, had a bunch of points, and then he didn't play him in the second half.
Right. He
in
and
3 consecutive
Jaren
games.
Jackson, who
I
they just
think
acquired.
he was asked if he would do anything differently in terms of winning those games or trying to win those games, and he said, deadpanning. This came from our program director, Adam Klug.
Yeah.
No.
Markkanen has not played more than 27 minutes in any of the last 4 games. So people think the Jazz are trying to lose. Problem, they've gone 2-2 during this span. So anyway, that's the backdrop to Markkanen 20 and a half points.
You're trying to lose and you're still winning. Good for you.
And he scored 27 points in 3 of those games that they keep taking him out of. I'm going to say over just because, I don't know why. Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to say over.
Over?
He's trying to get it before he comes out the
Yeah,
game.
right. Yeah, he's got to put it up.
I'm going to say under.
All right, USD Toreros 2.5 at home tonight over the Portland Pilots. Portland last week pulled off the biggest upset of the college basketball season, beating Gonzaga.
It's the second time it almost happened with Seattle University early this year. They had Gonzaga on the ropes, took them to overtime.
Gonzaga has not been a dominant top 10 team this year. Agreed. They're in the top 10 because their record is so good, but actually they've fallen to 12 now. Anyway, Portland's 5-8. The Toreros are 4-9. And it's Tony, USD at home. Jenny Craig Pavilion. Why don't you take the wife down to see the Toreros tonight, Tony? You're a fan.
No, I don't think she wants to go see it personally.
I don't think you want to go either.
I definitely don't. This Portland, give me Portland.
He's going Portland. All right.
Well, who did you pick, Chris?
I haven't picked.
Oh,
Tony
I'm going
was
to go
first.
Portland as well.
Portland. I have no faith in the Toreros. Sorry. Portland it is. I like to put this in because it just annoys me every time. ACC matchup. Cal at Syracuse tonight. Have a nice flight.
Good old Cal Syracuse matchup.
Come on. That's just
I think it's time to
pull the plug on this idea.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
But they're never going to pull the plug because they're making so much money.
Do you realize how long it takes to get from Cal Berkeley to Syracuse?
Crazy.
It's probably the
2 planes.
It's probably the longest of the. What is it? What is
One
it?
of the
ACC
longest.
Well, I mean,
matchups?
you go down to like
Cal
Florida
plays,
State.
Well, Cal plays Miami too.
Oh yeah,
so
that's probably
really
the long,
far. But
those are the 2 long ones.
There might be a direct flight for that one, but it's hard to get to Syracuse on a direct
Syracuse,
flight.
right? You can't fly in there most times.
Are they chartered?
Probably so.
Yeah, you're
but-
probably
I would
right.
say the basketball teams are probably
Yes,
charged.
they're chartering, but even with that, 6.5. Syracuse is favored, even though they have a worse record than Cal. I think they're taking the travel into consideration. Scraby, who do you like here?
I'll go with Q's.
The
Orangemen. I tried to combine both of them.
I'm going to take Cal on a surprise, even after I complained about the travel. I think Cal's got a decent team this year. What about you, Tony? Syracuse by 6.5.
They got to get a bounce back. They've been struggling here as of late. I think they get it done though.
Who?
Syracuse.
Q's. All right, Aztec women. This is my line, but I bet it's pretty close. I'm going 4 over Colorado State. They get 3 for the home court. They get 1 because they have a better record. But these teams played a really tight game. They both have the best defenses in the league. 4 points is a lot. I'm going to take the Aztecs, but I have a feeling to get over 4, they may need to be up by 3 and, get fouled at the end, right? You get those 2 3v free throws.
Yeah.
Because I don't know they can win this game by 7, 8, 9
spread
points.
buster, 3 free
It's
throws.
the old spread buster. Yeah. Tony, what are you doing here? We're playing, obviously, Aztecs against Scraby's alma mater as well.
Oh, yes. I'm very...
Tony, this is a tough game.
Give me the Aztecs.
All the way around, but they've been the kids have been good. All right, Scrabe, you want to go? Aztecs. Okay. And last, USA men's hockey tomorrow, 3.5 goals over Latvia. Tony, that's their first game in the Olympics tomorrow morning.
Again?
USA over Latvia by 3.5.
Yeah, give me the America.
USA. Scrabe, yes.
Yeah, it's all NHL players are playing against, so I'm gonna go America.
Not that this is going to change my pick, but our goalie back in the day on the Gulls, Sergei Numov was his name. It was spelled different, but pronounced. He was from Latvia, and it used to give me Latvia stories. I will tell you also, he drank like a fish, and I think that was a Latvian thing. Sergei was a hell of a goalie, though, back in the day. He did. He could put him away. I'll take USA. All right, there's our picks. More Gwynn and Chris. Around the corner, Scrabe, what do we got in the I know I have a sheet that should tell me. Sports Court.
Yes.
Okay, get the wigs out.
Oh.
From the first pitch of the year to
be long enough for him not to go get those stupid wigs.
Oh no, he did.
Oh, he did bring them.
He got him.
Where did yours go?
It's over here. I didn't see
there
it.
it is.
When did you
Game
get
plan
these?
did not
Have they
work.
been here the whole show?
No, I just walked out right in the beginning of the break and got them because I know how much you guys love your wigs.
I missed that.
I don't know
didn't see
why
that.
my wig doesn't fit anymore. I think Scraby's head stretched it out.
It might. It might.
His big cabezas stretched it out, huh?
Oh man, you got your cooties on it, Scrabe.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember
That's
when
true.
you were a little kid? That was about the worst thing that you could have.
Cooties? Yeah.
you got cooties. Oh,
I'm not
man,
gonna
that
lie to
was-
you.
Yeah, that was not good.
I didn't know what cooties was for a long time, and you know how a group of your friends knows what it is, and you don't.
You don't.
And
Oh,
so I'm
that's
just
no
gonna
fun.
play it along.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figured it out on my own, without ever having to ask the question. But everybody wanted to stay away from cooties.
Yeah, of course. I did that too, Tony. There was things that I didn't know the answer
I just
to.
didn't quite get.
So I just go, yeah, kind of thing. Like just play along, acting like I know.
I do.
You still do that.
Kind of, yeah.
I
It
do
hasn't
really,
changed.
I do really want to get to this Joey Porter Sr. sound at some point today because he said something out loud today that I think many people have thought for a long time. In terms of Joey Porter Sr. is the good linebacker for the Steeler great linebacker during I think their Super Bowl year that they
Well,
get
at least one of their Super Bowls.
one of their
yeah.
Super Bowl
Mhm.
years. So we'll get to it at some point. We do have sports courts today, as I dreadfully am holding this.
Nate is extremely offended that you dissed his wig.
Nate, I'm not dissing your wig, man. It's just itchy, man. And as a bald-headed man,
I will give Tony backup on this. They are extremely itchy.
oh my gosh!
And I have hair.
And I wear it. Like I try to wear it and have fun with it. But when you said sports court, I wasn't prepared at all. So let's get to it.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Big problem in Mission Valley this afternoon. Northbound 15, all lanes blocked near the 8, all due to a big rig accident that happened around 11 o'clock this morning. Big rig is off the roadway, but fuel spill is not. So hazmat crews are on scene. Traffic is being diverted off northbound 15 to east and westbound 8. There is a collision on northbound 15 for Friars Road. It's over the right shoulder. Also reports of a hit-and-run crash, Grossmont Boulevard off-ramp, northbound 125. Defective traffic signals, Black Mountain Road off-ramp, West 56, and reports of a collision on southbound 15 before Rancho Bernardo Road. Looks like this may be over to the right shoulder. Keep in mind, we've got some wet roadways due to scattered showers around the county, so please take it extra carefully out there. Heads up, San Diego, the next long weekend is coming up. Get road ready now. Valvoline Instant Oil Change gets you in and out fast. No appointment needed. Real pros check lights, fluids, and tires with any oil change. Locations and coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Do you have a sports issue, San Diego? Do you need a third party to make a decision? The guys have put on their robes and picked up their gavels.
All rise. Here comes the judge.
Gwynn and Chris Sports Court starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. I was hoping to watch the snowboarder doing the half pipe, and he's just standing there for like.
He was getting himself psyched up, man. Leave
How
him
long do
alone.
you have to go?
I mean, listen. Are you doing this?
No.
Okay. Neither am I. So let's let this man get himself ready. Off to a nice couple. Good to start.
Okay. I know I just said, oh, and all the people in the car can't hear it, but snowboarding is fun. I love watching snowboarding.
The people in the car can hear it.
They just don't know what you're
See
talking
it.
about.
I mean, yes, you're right. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. We have 2 sports, 1 regular life topic. Here's the first one. I have 4 children, 3 sons, 17, 14, and 11, and a 16-year-old daughter. My 2 eldest, a football and baseball playing son, and a softball playing daughter are highly athletic. My son, a high school senior, is being scouted by universities and has the potential to go pro. Consequently, my wife and I invest significantly more in his athletic career as an, quote, investment into his future, end quote, while my daughter's, though skilled, is treated as recreational due to the lack of women's major leagues. This disparity of spending causes my daughter to feel like we're favoring the son, believing that we love him more, especially because she's the only girl. I argue that the budget difference is purely due to my son's professional potential and our inability to equally fund both at this high school level. My wife and daughter now have poor relations with my sons and me over this perceived unfairness. Tony, you're up first. Am I a jerk?
To be up first. I can't wait to get this one.
Chris?
No, go ahead,
Tony, am I a jerk? Or am I smart, basically? I would also say that your son's probably not going pro.
Don't be a hater, man.
Yeah, that's like 1 in a million.
Let me tell you something. Simply by having a parent that believes it's possible will allow the child to at least believe that it can be something that it might not happen. But there's certainly nothing wrong with hoping and believing and doing the things that you can to help it happen. Now, to the question. It's a tough one because softball is not where some of the other women's sports are. Basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, where there is a professional realm, and there's a professional realm in softball, but it's not something that I think you can live off of. And I think from a parent standpoint, that's important. I think that's part of the reason why we want our kids to get such a good education, because it gives them an opportunity to be able to go out in the world and possibly make, enough money to be able to support themselves and their family. But this is a tight one because, you want to boost your daughter and whatever it is she wants to do, but
can we get a decision here?
There also is an end game. So
is he a jerk?
Listen, do you have any children?
I don't know.
Okay, so pipe down. Let me get my answer out. All right. So I would say that he's not a jerk. I think he's being realistic for his daughter. She's probably not gonna be happy about it, but I think as a parent, your job is to try to get her to understand why you are making that decision. You and your wife are making that decision.
Chris, is he a jerk?
And by the way, if it was flip-flop and the daughter was attacking something that had a future to it, I would hope that the same decision would be applied. It's not really a boy or girl thing, is what I'm trying to get at.
It's who's my better option thing.
Who or what is my better option?
Gotcha. Chris, is he a jerk?
I'm not going to answer that. I am going to say this. I've never disagreed with my partner more on a ruling than this one.
Wow.
But he also is a parent and I am not. So he's dealing in more reality than I am. When I say that if my daughter wanted to play piano or wanted to be an artist, I believe I should be there to support her as much as I support any of my children. And I believe that's what I would attempt to do if I were in the same situation. I don't know who told this guy that his son is going to go pro. So maybe that enters into it. And from what you said at the end, said the wife and the daughter are kind of estranged from him because of this decision.
Oh, the wife is not on the same page.
It doesn't sound like the wife is on the same page.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
No,
part.
the wife and daughter are on the same team. It says my wife and daughter now have poor relations with my son.
Wait, can I just get an understanding? Is he not allowing her to play?
No, he is, but they're not getting her the best training. They're not getting her the best equipment. They're giving all of that to the son.
I'm not worried about how much money they're spending.
Okay.
I'm worried about how much time they're spending.
Okay.
The money situation, I would think in this case, the son, if they're going pro, might need some better attention and more money. But I don't think attention should ever be more on one child than the next.
So is the idea that she should get the same type of
she wants the same
training
yes
that her brother's getting?
Yes. She wants
now,
the same treatment.
The question's kind of changing here as I keep answering it. So.
Okay. No, I mean, it actually it's making more sense that you ruled the way you ruled. I mean, whether he's being a jerk or not, I don't know that he's being a jerk. I think and I was under the impression that mom and dad were on the same page there. So.
Yeah, I guess I should have pointed that out, but no, their wife and daughter are on the same page. It just seems like this dad is not listening to his family.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds like he's blinded by some dollar signs that he thinks he's going to get one of these
his
days.
Daughter 100% should be given the opportunity to. I mean, shoot, a college education is no joke either. Like if he feels like his son is capable of going pro, why isn't his daughter capable of at least getting that far? Free education is I would say pretty good.
Let's take sports out of this. If one of your kids wanted to be a lawyer and was going to law school, and the other one of your kids wanted to go into advertising and wasn't going to go into law school, the lawyer is going to make more money in the end. But should you support them more?
No.
That's what I'm looking at in this ruling.
Well, that one is my meal ticket, so yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like this
Just
father.
kidding.
I guess I didn't
understand.
Understand the optics, or not the optics, the question. I guess whether he's being a jerk, and I don't think he's being a jerk. I just think maybe he is seeing something in his son.
We also don't know. Maybe his daughter is really terrible at sports, and his son actually is really good at sports.
That's the other thing, and that's why it's hard to make a rule.
But we don't know these people. But all right, split ruling on that one.
This wig is off the chain right now.
You also
have
your
split
beanie
ruling on
that. Here's a regular life one. So I am a 26-year-old female. I had my 27-year-old male friend watch my place and my cat for the weekend. I told him he could, quote, help himself to whatever in the kitchen, which I thought was just like, common sense for snacks and stuff. I get back and realize he opened this 120 bottle of vintage wine I was saving for my promotion. He literally drank the whole thing alone while watching Netflix. When I asked him about it, he got all weird and said, quote, I gave him permission because the wine was in the kitchen. Like, okay, but who drinks a $100 bottle of wine without asking first? I sent him a Venmo request for $80. Gave him a discount, LOL. And now he's calling me tacky and told our group chat I'm a bad host. Feel like there's literally an unwritten rule of guest logic where you don't touch the most expensive thing in the house. If I tell you to help yourself to my garage, it doesn't mean you could just drive off in my car. So, Chris, does he owe me money?
No, he doesn't owe you money, but it's time for you to get a new friend and, get somebody else to watch your house. Because I think anybody now, bottles of wine, I don't know how much they cost. So I might, if I was, going for some wine, think I'm getting the $4 bottle and grab the 100 by just not having the knowledge. But I think helping yourself to stuff does not include opening bottles of wine, and I just think it's a weak move by the person watching your house. We tell everybody who stays at our house whenever we go somewhere to help themselves. 99% of the time they don't touch anything, or they maybe that's just people don't touch anything when you tell them. It's just something you say.
Right.
I just think you have to get somebody better to do the job, but I don't think you can get your $80 back either. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah. I mean, a Venmo request is quite.
I mean, listen, I'm okay with you sending a Venmo request. Maybe your friend might feel bad and actually
send it back.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. So it's not like he's entitled to give it to you back. But get you a new friend. You're not getting your $80 back in terms of a ruling, but you definitely need to go get yourself a new friend. I think it's funny that he called you tacky.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think his move might have been tacky at all.
No, he says you're tacky, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like totally trying to shift the blame on everything.
Not a good host and tacky.
Cole says, Chris having a glass of red wine with that wig. Imagine him next to a fire with that wig and a glass of red wine, Chris. I think that would be very nice.
Yeah, it would be, but I don't drink, so.
Right, you can get non-alcoholic wine.
Who does that?
A lot of people do.
Really?
A lot of people in the sober world.
I never understood that. I don't like.
Let me ask you, what is? This is a serious question.
Okay.
What is the appeal of? Isn't it just regular? Isn't it just juice at that point? Like
what because I don't. Nah.
I mean, I'm serious.
No,
like
I know,
there's no alcohol.
Yeah,
what is it? What is it?
It's grape juice now.
It's made like wine, so it kind of has that wine feel. I know plenty of people who do this. I don't personally do this because I think if I were to drink a non-alcoholic beer, I would just start drinking real beer.
Right.
So people like to have it in their hands so that people don't question what they're drinking and things like that.
Please. We're beyond that now.
Well, me and you are, but the people who are like 3 days in.
The world should be beyond that now.
You would be surprised.
Like judging somebody.
Yeah, we respect the fact that people don't want to. Some people don't want to drink anymore, and I will admit when I stopped drinking back at the end of college because I just didn't like it, and all the reasons I did. I drank a lot of club sodas with limes in them because it was easier
like
to
a little
fit in with
vodka
the group.
tonic.
Yeah, it was easier to fit in with the group. I will admit to that.
Adam has a great point about this. Did the person pay the friend to watch the house, or was the person doing a favor for free?
Yeah.
I mean, I think either way.
Question.
I think either way, if you volunteered to do it for free, and then you drank $100 bottle of wine, you're wrong. If he paid you to watch it, and you drank $100 bottle of wine, you're still wrong.
I have experience with this as a drinker. I was asked to watch someone's house.
I think you might have told this story before.
Oh, really? I think I may have, but they said the same thing. Have whatever you want, including the wine.
And you took them literally.
And I tried to keep it to the cheap stuff, but
cheap stuff. So you went to multiple chances back into that.
Oh yeah,
you cleaned the guy out.
Oh yeah, but I ended up
tried
drinking.
to keep it to the cheap.
His bar was empty when the guy came back.
I ended up drinking like a $200 bottle of wine, and I didn't do it on purpose.
And you didn't know.
And it was really good.
Good?
I was like, it's like, man, this is way better than the other wine that they had. But he got back, he saw that it was gone, and he called me, and I fessed up to it, but I felt weird about it because I didn't want to do that.
Venmo bill?
No, he didn't. He just never asked me to house sit again.
I mean, we've talked about this before when I told the cleaning lady and she wanted, the orange tree. And she said, yeah. I said, go ahead and grab some.
She
took every orange.
Oh, yeah, that is funny.
So, that's a miscommunication.
Next time you can say
You gotta
oranges.
be specific.
Right.
You gotta be specific.
You
All
can
right,
take
last
3.
This one's kind of sad, but they have an issue. I'm a 42-year-old man. I have one son, and it's with my ex-wife. We've been divorced for 9 years. She has full custody. I get him every other weekend. My issue is that he has played soccer and bowling for years. It has interfered with my time with him. He seems to have something every Saturday. I asked his mom if he can take a break. She told me if I wanted him to not play, I have to tell him. So I called my son. He is 13. I told him that playing sports is taking too much of our time. Plus, I don't like that he has broken 2 bones, countless bruises and scrapes, and I'm afraid people will think he's abused. Just 2 weeks ago, he showed up with 3 cuts on his legs. When I asked his mom, she was like, who knows? He is always out and about. But it was from soccer. He basically said he wants to keep playing that soccer is his favorite and bowling is fun too. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't realize this was so long.
Is it important?
It's not. It's basically what he's asking is, can he... This is very serious. I don't know why I chose this one. Can he go to a lawyer to request more time with his son?
That's one.
I really brought down the room on this one.
Man.
This one dark and.
I think the answer is yes, he can. But does he want to? Does he
you
want
can go to court and file a $1 billion suit against your ex-wife. You can do whatever you want.
Right? Is it good for the child? At this point, you already are.
I do think it's unfair that the mom gets him on weekends where he's not playing sports, and the dad gets him on the weekends where he is playing sports.
I don't know that that's intentional,
and I don't know their setup either.
Like, what sport? Listen, I don't know what the young man is doing, but I don't find it plausible that you have sports on one weekend and then you just don't, and it's lining up every single weekend like that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's tough. Son's sounds like a blast, despite the couple broken bones and the 3 scratches on his leg.
Yeah, and countless bruises and scrapes.
I don't know that I'm qualified to make a ruling on this one.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to send you down the hall.
We're going to send you up to the next court. Sorry, buddy.
This is a family court. Next time I will read the thing 3 times to make sure that I don't feel depressed by the end. I'm sorry, everyone. We will move on from that. But
let's get to break. Chris versus the fans on the way. 833-288-0973 if you want to play.
4:01 is the time. Bill Howe Studios. We know how. Don't forget, 5:30 today. Biggest fan will be announced, as it is pretty much every day at 5:30.
Yes.
Or just after 5:30. Make sure you're listening. Your name might be called. If it is, you'll have 10 minutes to call in and qualify for a night in the Odyssey Suite at a future Padre game with all of the fan staff. It's going to be catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Register your name if you haven't already at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. And then I think they call names 3 times a day, right? Not just on our show.
No,
but in
on
the
each
morning
show. Yep.
And in the afternoon as well. Just quick update. Any of you soccer fans who were upset that they just took your match off the air last night unceremoniously during the second half, put Iowa State TCU on. We did do some digging earlier and send all your complaints to Braden Surprenant. He wanted everybody to see his Horned Frogs play.
He got his wish.
Got his wish. Braden was pulling the strings from what we understand. Anyway, no. Congrats, though, to SDFC for moving on in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Speaking of champions, I'm ready for Chris versus the fans.
Oh, wow.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. We are playing for a qualification for a shot at 2 tickets to 9 Inch Nails at Pechanga Arena on March 9th. That will be drawn this week. And the rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question is going to get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. And if you're a first-time player, let us know before we get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. That was a solid player.
So. Bounce back from the terrible one you guys provided yesterday, I must say.
It was a terrible one.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen. See
you
what
guys
you're listening
to. You guys'
to.
heart wasn't in it like it was today.
Okay, I'm glad my heart's back.
Good.
Let's go to Eric.
Hello, Eric. How are you, my friend?
What's up, players?
Happy Hump Day. Here we go. First question.
Happy Hump Day. Really quick, guy. I have a question, Gwynn. I have a question for you. Did Otani's bookie get to you? Because there's no way in hell you could lose 2 times to Scraven the fantabulous game show.
Did Ipe get to you?
Ipe rang my line.
Hey, one more thing. Hey, Scravy?
Yeah?
I'd be worried about the particles Lucky lives on your face after he licks it.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Are you a dog?
I've said this before. Lucky does not lick. Lucky is not a dog that licks people. I swear to you.
Even if he wanted
I
to,
didn't say
you
people.
would.
I said you.
But he doesn't lick me either.
Yeah,
I'm always like,
every dog.
Come on, buddy, and he won't do it.
Never heard of a dog that doesn't do a lick or two.
Yeah, come on, dog.
I will bring him in.
It's okay.
Okay. All right, Eric.
All right, let's get to the first question.
I think Eric.
He kind of does have you figured out.
Lucky does not lick my face.
Yeah, sure he does. And what 3 countries are hosting the World Cup this summer?
The USA, Mexico, and the Frenchies up in Canada.
Nice work. Question number 2.
Treading lightly with that answer.
Hey, we didn't say it.
Why does Boomer Esiason want to ban the Super Bowl in California?
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Let me see. I'm going to have to say, I don't know, they can't smoke marijuana during halftime? I don't know.
I mean, I think they actually, maybe not in the stadium, but
I don't think it stops.
the stadium.
I don't think it stops people. I'm just
I
pointing
don't really
it
know
out.
if it's true.
Been to some Padre games.
I don't know if it's true, but I want to give Eric the right answer. No. Well, it's because the taxes are costing athletes in the Super Bowl more money than they're actually making in the game. A la Sam Darnold. Sorry, Eric,
Taxes.
but thanks for joining us. And you
Eric-
were right on the
entertaining.
breakdown of
Entertaining, buddy.
No, I'm
No,
just
totally,
gonna,
totally down on you, Scrabby. He's got you.
He
No,
did. I mean,
no.
because you were
No
you
question.
brought the particle thing up.
And by the way, My dog doesn't count because I'm the one who cleans him and takes care
Your
of him.
dog licks himself, bro. There's nothing you
He
can
does
tell
do
me.
that, but he
Yes.
doesn't lick people.
Oh, he's licking you. I'm sure he's licked you before. man.
I'm telling you the 100% truth.
Like he said.
None of this matters because you wore my wig last week, proving that you can stand the germs.
When I found out, I threw it to the floor.
But
in
it was too
disgust.
late. It had already been
Germs
on.
had already seeped to your scalp.
I actually went home and deloused and things like that.
Give me the next contestant.
Is your house being fumigated right now?
It is. I actually had to call in the termite guys. Let's go to Wyatt in San Diego as our next caller.
What's up, Wyatt? How are you,
Hey,
my friend?
Wyatt.
Doing good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Here we go. First question. What sport does the quad god compete in?
I mean, is it considered figure skater? Is it ice dancing? It's one of those two. I don't know
Nah,
which
you're
one it's
good.
considered.
You got it.
I think you
Wyatt's
got it. You got
Figure
it.
skating would be more accurate. He's not an ice dancer. That is a separate sport.
Remember
But,
when I
you
had
think you're
my
on it.
explanation between ice dancing?
Yeah.
Ice dancing, you dance on the ice, and figure skating is you twirl on the ice.
That was your explanation, yes.
Question number 2. Where is the NASCAR San Diego race going to take place later this year?
That's down on Coronado, right?
Yes.
Does it have to be more specific? No, you say. All right. Judges rule in your favor.
I guess I did hit the button.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
North Island
what
would
do you
be more
say
He
there,
specific.
said he said it in a way that he meant it as a naval base. Like
Well, North
the
Island is
Coronado.
also on Coronado. So that's correct.
However you want us to couch it there, buddy.
You start sweating there for a
We'll
second.
move to question number 3.
Phew, got through that one. Oh wait, hold on, Tony.
Yeah, get rid of that one. What was the first official Daytona?
What year?
Excuse me. What year was the first official Daytona 500?
You think I was there?
Maybe.
Was I the one waving the flag?
Possibly.
Oh goodness, this is a year question.
Cars were a little more boxy in 1958
The
too.
Daytona 500 is this weekend, so hence the question.
Hence the question. Got a guess, Wyatt, or do you want to just let it roll here?
I'm just going to let it roll. I'm not even going to try to guess a number. I'm going to go 1958 because I just heard Tony say 1958.
He's trying
Okay.
1958. Yeah, I don't think that's even close, but I don't know when it started. 1943. I have no idea.
Explain what just happened, Tony.
So I accidentally gave the wrong answer because I
Wyatt,
said,
you're the winner.
I
Stay
said
there.
cars were the cars were a lot more boxy in 1958.
Yeah.
But it
That
says
wasn't the
1959, which
Oh,
is
they
the
started
real
the
answer.
next year?
Yeah.
the
Oh.
next year.
That is hilarious. I didn't hear you say that.
I didn't
He
either.
did,
Well, no, I
clearly.
heard the boxing. I just didn't make the connection that would have given me a clue.
Yeah.
Wyatt heard you.
Wyatt heard me perfectly.
Good for you, Wyatt.
You guys
win
gonna watch
Chris versus
the
the fans?
Daytona 500 this
today.
weekend?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the now. What's? Oh no. What are they calling the North Island race? Do we know?
I looked it up. I don't believe they have a name just yet, but it's NASCAR San Diego is what it's under right now.
Got it.
Maybe
I will be
NASCAR.
You remember
for
when
the-
we had
for the troops?
Do you remember when we had the guy on the NASCAR
Yeah,
driver
yeah,
the
yeah,
day
yeah.
after Braden Surprenant reported that they were going to drive across the bridge? Remember? We asked the guy, "You guys aren't really driving across the bridge, are you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't think so. That would be a little too dangerous."
Yeah, at that speed,
Yeah.
I don't even like going over at like
no,
50.
and I don't go over in the outside lane. I'm in the
You
inside
is-
lane.
See, I knew someone who did the walk that goes over the Coronado
I've done
Bridge,
that also.
and
No
they said
shot.
it is terrifying because there's like grates in the road, and so you could see straight down
No, I'm
at
good.
certain
True.
points.
I'm good.
True that.
Ugh,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm good,
absolutely
too.
good on
But
that.
I'd rather walk over it than drive in the outside lane because the outside lane, one false move and
That thing will the wall will hold you in there.
yeah, okay. Well, let's
Think
not
anybody
try it.
wants to try.
Let's not try.
Yeah,
it.
Chris.
Scraper's gonna give me a little bump. Don't worry. I knew the wall would
Wall
hold
holds
you.
you.
I'm
It'll
gonna
hold you.
do a pit maneuver on Chris
Yeah,
while he's
nah,
next to the
I'm
wall.
good, man. Everything
I
about
just
that bridge
appreciated
scares me.
Braden Surprenant thinking he had broken the story.
I mean, I
Wait,
really
did,
love
when
that.
did that?
Can't give you
I don't
that one.
remember Brady.
I don't
doing
know. I don't.
Maybe he didn't say that. He was talking.
He said
There
where
was
the
a lot-
location was going to be, and then it
Okay.
moved.
Yeah, right. Anyway, he was
Let's just blame Braden for the bridge thing too.
He was very close. Braden was right around it.
cars on the bridge.
That would have been awesome.
no, it would not have.
That would have been
That would
awesome.
have been terrible.
All they have to do is put like
No.
No, I don't even want to think about that.
All right.
There is no way you want to see that highlight on Sports Center.
I definitely do want to see that highlight on Sports Center. There's some crazy tracks out there. Like there's
Not
some that
that
have airports
crazy.
that are still like running as they're doing it. They're going under planes and things like that.
All right, very good. Chris vs. the Fans is a Wyatt situation today. He'll cash in and get qualified for 9 Inch Nails. I don't know that you ever said the prize today.
I
did.
did.
You?
Yes, I did.
I missed it. Wyatt, good luck on that. When we come back, as far as Ben Roethlisberger is concerned, with teammates like Joey Porter, who needs enemies? My goodness. Joey Porter just destroying Ben Roethlisberger. You got to hear it. Tony will have it after we take a break. That'll include some traffic, I believe, at some point.
Hot tub, hot tub, hot tub.
Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Elomass Scraby. Chris kind of teased it when we went to break. Joey Porter Sr., son Jr. plays defensive back for the Steelers now. Porter is an assistant, or at least he was an assistant. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the staff moving forward, but safe to say
he's not going to be on Ben Roethlisberger's staff.
No, he's not.
There's ever a staff.
Was Ben Roethlisberger's teammate for quite a long time.
They did win the one. You mentioned it. Just looked it up. He won the one Super Bowl with Roethlisberger in 2005.
Yes.
And one last note on Joey Porter. He's a Ram.
Yes, I did know that.
Colorado State.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he sure is. But anyway,
he's got to be the most
he was
famous
on a
football player from
podcast, I think yesterday.
Yeah.
And the subject came up about Mike Tomlin and some of his, probably the guys who had the most success under his tenure, who kind of, had some, I don't want to say disparaging, that they felt like he wasn't a Hall of Fame type head coach, even though they all won Super Bowls. And Joey Porter really was defending Mike Tomlin. In his defense of Mike Tomlin, he's going to start on Harrison first. Why can't I remember Debo's first name?
James
Harrison, and then he's going to move to Ben Roethlisberger. I just want to set the clip up before Scraby plays it here.
About Mike too, since he's retired. Give me an example. Who y'all talking about? Y'all talking about James?
I mean, James has been vocal, as has Ben. Both have been vocal.
They tell the version of the story in Pittsburgh that they want to tell. And I told him, I said, how can you say he's not a great coach when everything that happened good to you in football was under his watch? Your Debo name, when I played with you was James Harrison. Under Mike, 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, Defense Player of the Year, played in 2 championships, paid you over 50-something million. You think the head coach didn't have his hand in making that player? Then why would you take a shot at the guy who changed your life? Because Coward didn't change your life. Coward cut you 3 times. I didn't agree with none of it because I just feel like you took a shot at Mike. And in this space, Mike ain't go defend himself in this space. Well, he broke the brotherhood. Then 7 definitely broke the brotherhood because the shit that 7 did that we don't talk about is crazy. Out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Because if we talking Steeler business, his ass.
Yeah, did you not preview that?
I guess
I previewed most of it,
not all of it.
He didn't get to the end of it there, but he was safe to say that he called Ben Roethlisberger, basically said he was not a good teammate. And I saw Jim Rome kind of comment on it, basically said Joey Porter decided to say the things out loud that many people had thought, quietly. And it was just interesting to hear two guys who won Super Bowls together have different takes on their head coach.
I would think that there's got to be a lot of teammates in the world that have won things and experienced that incredible feeling of a championship, but that just weren't really fans of each other. But most of them don't come out and pointedly say what Joey Porter just said, which is Ben Roethlisberger, not a good guy, not a good teammate.
I mean, those
shouldn't
two
be talking
things,
about anything.
Those two things are cut deep too, because I think when you, especially as an athlete, the one thing you would like to walk away and have, and at least the thought be in your head is that you at least think your teammates thought you were a good teammate, regardless of how much
you'd like that to be the
100%.
case.
Regardless of how well you played, I think you are more worried about what your teammates think of you as a teammate.
I was, as good of a Roethlisberger fan as you could be until all of that stuff came out about whatever happened in that restaurant or bar, and the whole thing was very confused after a long time, but there was a lot of smoke. I don't know that we ever got to any fire, but there was a lot of smoke that made me question Ben Roethlisberger's character, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's hard to look past all of that, but Joey Porter, he's not mincing any words.
Joey Porter, by the way, never really ever minced words. He was always dude that if you needed a sound bite, you went to his locker. Because
now Roethlisberger might say, look, I'm going to come back and, go on my own podcast and tell you that Joey Porter was a jerk, and probably has every right to say that as well.
Ben does have his own podcast. I mean, that's where the initial comments, I think, came from, was from both James Harrison's podcast and Ben Roethlisberger has a podcast. And so, I think
Podcasts make.
I mean, that's kind of the thing now, right?
Podcasts give us all a little bit more ammunition than maybe we have.
If you have a podcast and you want it to pop,
right? You want somebody to hear about it. You better say something.
You got to say something controversial. And I guess he got it. I guess he got the reaction too, because now they can.
We're talking about it.
They can clip. They can clip that up how they want to, and make it a whole nother episode out of it.
Yeah, Scraby said he had friends in Miami of Ohio that
was the ex-girlfriend that
weren't
I dated
big
in
fans
Cincinnati.
of Roethlisberger.
No, he.
These are all.
He was not a great guy.
The only thing that I will say in defense of Roethlisberger, and I don't know anything because I never met him, and like I said, I didn't like some of the things I read in that that one case that came out. I've always felt that I'm in a glass house when I throw these stones, because there has to be some times when I'm walking around town or just not in the mood or whatever it is, somebody trying to be friendly and I blow them off for whatever reason. I try to never do it. I know Tony tries to never do it, but every now and again you're in a hurry. You just got to get somewhere, whatever it might be. And if that person says, yeah, I tried to talk to Chris L. He kind of blew me off. He's not very nice. And that person tells 10 people and those 10 tell 10. Now, pretty soon you're not a good guy based on one interaction, 2-second interaction. Yep. So that's why I feel like I'm in a glass house when I'm throwing these stones.
Thrives off of those type of.
Oh, no, I do not. No, I do not.
He'll catch you if you have a bad day. He catches you.
Oh, I see.
He's definitely going to tell those 10 people.
I think I've softened on that a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
A tiny bit.
Yeah. I just remember the first time I ever met Chris was across the street when we worked for different stations.
Yeah, you told the story like 30 times.
and
it
I
gets
was
meaner every time.
Yes.
And I was like
a little more hot sauce
trying to meet everyone
time.
in the building. And I go, hey, my name's Matt Scraby. And Chris just goes, hey.
This story that you tell is similar.
At least he's consistent with it.
Yeah, well, to me, it's similar to the John Shire saying his coaches got punched. I wish that I would have been that mean now that he tells everybody I was that mean. Right? I hope I really was that mean then, since you've said it so many times.
I would like to be in radio. Can you help?
Yeah.
No, you didn't do that.
That's funny.
All right.
I just think it's a fun story because it's like this is like 6 years before Chris and I worked together.
It's just a reminder that it's a smaller world than you think
Very
it is.
small
And
world.
when you think no one's paying attention or when no one's watching,
Somebody's always paying attention.
someone is,
somewhere.
especially now. And don't be surprised if the camera is rolling during that time.
Cole said, by all accounts, Ello is a good guy and gave me the time of day.
See?
Thank you.
Who said that?
Try.
Cole.
See? Cole had a great 5-second interaction.
Interesting that I
Gave
wearing
him the
a
time of
watch
day.
that day.
I believe Cole might have met you at the Scrabinator game last year, and you came in the suite, and everybody was, Chris is a really good schmoozer. He's a great schmoozer.
Now he's calling you a schmoozer. Now
That's a good thing.
That's another put down.
It's an underhanded jab.
No,
I think it is,
being a
too.
good schmoozer is a good thing.
Because if you say I'm a schmoozer, then you're saying I'm not being
authentic.
Yeah, you're saying
You're
I'm coming in and
schmoozing.
being
It's
somebody I'm
Here's
not.
what I meant by schmoozing. I
Okay.
meant that Chris
Clarify.
is able to have conversations with everyone.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that what schmoozing is?
No, schmoozing makes it sound like you're covering up something by trying to be all nice and stuff,
trying
but
to
you really don't
get
care
in
about
there.
the people.
He's gonna look up the definition of
I'm gonna look up
schmoozer. Listen,
schmoozer.
He doesn't know how to spell schmoozer.
SCHMOOZE.
He's not getting to it.
It says to converse informally. That's what I was saying. Schmooze.
Okay, all right, my fault. Let's get the break. Calm down. Big 5 on the others. Yeah, you got your other 2 questions. You look too short right now.
We're doing a big 3 today.
Right now we're doing a big 4.
Yeah, big 4.
Yeah.
Big 4, big 5. We'll see on the other side.
The biggest guests.
All right, 4:34. Welcome back, Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Scraby's got a big 4. We'll see if he was talking to us the whole time during the break. So
I know, and I was editing a
No
video.
way he could get anything done.
Yeah, I don't think he got anything done, but he's going to try to fake it and get a big 5 out of all of this. We've got our biggest fan coming up about an hour from right now. News update of the day. Mason Miller officially named the closer for the Padres today. I think we kind of all expected that, but Craig Stammen, on the day that pitchers and catchers report, did make that official today. The U.S. won a couple of more gold medals at the Olympics.
They're one back right now.
Of the gold medal of the medal lead.
Yes.
All right. That's good.
Making a charge.
And I think, whatever else happens, Scraby will try to cover here in the Big 5.
Try.
From the 855 Ket Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Frozen Ropes Baseball and Softball Training Facilities. Well, guys, the big story is this crash in Mission Valley, northbound side of the 15 near the 8. All lanes are blocked. This is a big rig accident that happened around 11 o'clock this morning. It left a fuel spill. Big rig is off the roadway, but be prepared for some traffic diversions onto east or westbound 8 from that northbound 15. In the backup of that, got a stalled car right before University. It's over to the right shoulder. Also an accident, 28th Street on-ramp to westbound King Freeway. In the Granite Hills area, you're going to find some traffic control in place for a Surface Street fatal accident, La Cresta Road and Greenfield Drive. Register for Frozen Ropes Baseball Summer League with 8 games and 8 practices for ages 6 through 12 and receive $100 off your registration fee at SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. That's SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big 5 starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, I got 5 now. I'm glad I remembered a topic that I wanted to talk about. All guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Number 5.
We're going to start with what we talked a little bit about on the Scraby show last night. And the Padres, if we're looking ahead and seeing who they're going to be opening the season with, the Tigers, they're going to face 2 really, really good lefties out the gate. Tarek Skubal, as long as he's still on the team, and Framber Valdez. And so we were the conversation. Yes.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
Don't pay me attention.
Oh, okay. I thought you were laughing at me.
No.
We were talking about where Jackson Merrill should bat in the lineup, and so the 2 spot was mentioned. But Jackson struggles against lefties, and so the question
Don't
was...
be saying that now. I said to Ryan O'Hearn struggles against lefties, and I was chastised.
You talking about the chosen one too? You better be careful.
But I looked at the stats.
And I did too. It didn't seem to matter, did it?
I think you be careful.
It's
People
like
are all over that.
Chris is just looking out for you.
I think he hit 298 against righties in his career, 238 against lefties.
I pointed all that out when I talked about Ryan O'Hearn. Then he hit a home run, and everybody said,
"You don't know what you're talking about."
Well, I think
Chris.
it was because you called people idiots.
No, just you.
Okay.
They misheard.
They misheard you.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you're up first on this one. The question is, should Jackson Merrill bat in the 2 spot?
Well, I think a better question of it is, should they have a different lineup against lefties and righties?
Actually, I thought about that, but I didn't know how to phrase it. But there you go.
Yeah,
you were talking to us too long. You couldn't get it right.
Right. I'm gonna say for April, no. I think I put my lineup out there. Let's see how things go. Maybe, I'm not going to be worrying about all those analytics the first weekend of the season. I did want to point out, because I mentioned it, I wanted to say it to Sammy when we were talking about the opener. Very weird first week of the season in that the Padres play the Tigers on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, March 26, 7, and 8. Sunday, March 29th is an off day. When is the last Sunday during a baseball season that was an off day?
I think we had one
I
maybe
remember
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
It was very strange.
It was wild then.
So weird.
They're not traveling to Mexico the next day or
Please
something?
don't say that.
No, they're home to the Giants on that
we're
Monday.
playing the Giants. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Scrappy.
so they're home to the Giants on Monday.
I don't want to do Mexico that soon in this. That's like after the first series.
Yeah, I just think that something to get ready for that you're going to be caught off guard
We
by a
got
little bit.
opening day, and then Tony Gwynn opening day.
Yes.
Saturday, off day Sunday.
Off day Sunday. I don't
That's
want to hear any
nice for
complaining from
you.
the broadcast crew. I'm getting a little tired out here, guys. Saturday. Well, you got an off day tomorrow. Grant.
Honestly, you know what they should do is
Mudcat.
Yeah, because by the way, me and Jesse by that time we'll be in full swing after doing all these spring training games.
Right.
they should just put the Sunday off day later in the season so that if they need to make up a game, they
No,
can do it.
what? No, we're not trying to give up an off day for a makeup day.
Well, you're going to get the off day when the game gets rained out.
It's not a real
But
off
I
day.
think it's only been rained out once. in
Sunday,
Petco
March
Park history.
29th. All of you wives out there, you want to plan something for a Sunday with the family and the husband. That's a day to do it. No Padre baseball to get in the way.
I got to steer us back. Jackson Merrill, 2 spot.
Yes, you do.
I
Chris.
answered. I said I wouldn't do it that early in the year.
Tony.
Don't have preconceived ideas with Jackson. The dude. Listen. I think
He's
Jackson,
hit a lot against lefties. Not
I think
the same
Jackson's
average.
I think Jackson needs to be left. I don't think we should be having that conversation about Jackson Merrill yet.
Okay.
He's been in the league for one full season, an interrupted second season. And by the way, he did pretty damn good in both of those seasons. So, let's let this man grow. And then we can start. I think we give up on players in general too quick on the whole lefty. We're going to have a league full of dudes that can only hit one side because they never get a chance to develop it. So let's let Jackson do his thing. I think Jackson's going to be fine. I think eventually the 2 spot could be a good spot for him. I don't know if it's early in the season, though.
Okay.
Number 4.
Granted, I don't really know what to ask about this, but it's something that we talk about all the time. FanDuel
Had to
Sportsbook
get a question in there. So.
will no longer accept, and I didn't even know they did this, but they will no longer accept deposits to their accounts by credit card beginning on March 2nd.
That just sounds.
That is diabolical.
Who is saying this?
DraftKings or FanDuel is
They
going-
used to accept credit card.
Yes, DraftKings took that same step in August, so they just did it as well. FanDuel issued a statement saying this decision has been in the works over the last few months. FanDuel has been evaluating the payment methods that we offer to customers and made the decision to remove credit cards as an option for our sportsbook, casino, and racing products in the United States. This change was made to improve the deposit experience of our customers.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it's made just with the customer in mind.
Yes, many sports bettors don't use credit cards because I guess there's additional fees when you deposit. So Elizabeth Warren, I think she's a senator.
I knew
from
someone. I knew that government had to be
Massachusetts.
involved in this.
Well, she's
making them do it.
Oh yeah, because it
For
says
sure.
She said last week I asked sports betting companies about Americans getting scammed by credit card companies when placing sports bets to the tune of a $10 junk fee just to fund a $20 bet.
Wow.
So,
Tony.
Yes. Is this predatory enough for financial damages?
Man, I don't know if I'm
Because
qualified to answer.
it's predatory.
I will say this. I could be cynical on this whole thing and actually I was going to be cynical, and now the whole Warren thing only proves my thought that they had to be
pressure.
That they had to be pressured. And that makes sense, because if I'm a credit card company, or not the credit card company, if I'm the FanDuel, why wouldn't I want people charging their credit cards so I can suck them dry of everything they have?
I'm honestly,
It would be the
surprised
perfect
this
thing.
wasn't illegal.
And so I'm glad that somebody stepped in and called them out on it. It's just one less thing for somebody to create debt. I mean, you already are going to gamble and probably collect some debt there. No need to double it with your credit card as well.
Yeah, and they charge you fees on top of fees. Jeez.
on a $20 bet.
Jeez.
Is it worth it at that point?
Well,
Apparently so. Never mind.
You know, before I get to Chris, I will say that back in the day when I didn't have any money and I was drinking and I needed something to drink or I needed to go get booze, I would overdraw my account. It wasn't a question for me because I needed to get my fix. And so that's the same thing with sports betting. So as you know, as you can tell, I had many NSF days in my bank account back in the day. Not anymore. I've cleaned it up. Chris, is this predatory enough for financial penalty?
I honestly kind of stopped paying attention when we did DraftKings and betting, and I don't know. Just stop betting. What is the question? Is it about the fact that they don't want people putting how much money they owe on credit?
No,
as far as paying it right away.
I'm saying allowing people to use a credit card to fund your betting is insane.
Right, but that means you don't have to pay then. You can pay later when your credit card bill comes.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that the option of credit card is predatory because people are going to use it to fund their betting problem.
Okay, but they can't now because they're stopping it, right?
On March 2nd. They needed apparently a couple of weeks to...
I don't want to give the gamblers too much convenience here. I think what's best for gamblers is for them to see how much lettuce is flying out of their pocket every time they lose so that they can kind of get an idea of what they're
Chris
risking.
thinks this is a good thing.
I do like it, yes. Because otherwise it's just numbers.
Right. It's numbers that they don't have to worry about until the bill comes.
It's really easy to hand anywhere you go, the card, and they just ring it up.
Yep.
You take $40 out of your pocket, sometimes
it's gone.
a different deal.
100%.
So that's what I'm going to go with.
I've definitely spent money on a card and not really thinking about it and then realized later, why did I spend that money?
Yeah. It's not there at that point. It's fake money. It's in the air. It's in the cloud.
So we say all this to say gamble responsibly.
Be careful.
Number 3.
Last week, now this guy doesn't, I can't really back a lot of what this guy does, but he's going to make an argument for, or Phil Mickelson's going to make an argument for you guys. Brandel Chambly made headlines with a strong statement about the status of the Players' Championship, the 5th major, as I've been calling it. The former PGA Tour pro went as far as to say it was above any of the 4 majors in terms of importance.
Who's saying this?
Brandel Chambly.
Is he a broadcaster now?
He's not my favorite dude.
Sounds like he wants
He's
clicks.
someone who does like talk shows with a glass of wine next to him. Yes. He said, when you look at the Players' Championship, with all due respect to the other 4 championships, it is the best field in golf. It is the deepest field in golf. And by virtue of the fact that only one person in its 50-year history has managed to successfully defend it, I would argue that it's the hardest major championship to win. Now, Phil Mickelson was not a fan of this. He argued against his claims.
Phil's still chiming in on PGA biz, huh?
Yeah, he pointed out that TPC Sawgrass no longer hosts the strongest field in golf. Instead, he believes Live Golf now offers better
so it's not
competition.
PGA biz. Okay.
He went on to explain on social media, quote, if they wanted to build value for their own asset, allowing Live players would greatly increase interest, exposure, and commercial value. But SSG, which is the sports group that runs the PGA Tour now, had billions they were required to spend, end quote. Chris is up.
Okay.
What is Phil's angle these days?
Great question.
Trying to make himself sound as good as possible, I guess. He's competing at the highest level and trying to be, answer critics who say that he stepped away from the best competition by going to Live. He's also trying to get the focus off the fact that he basically went for the money grab instead of staying on the tour that made him famous and furthering
rich, by the way.
Yeah. So
originally I agreed with why Phil was mad at the PGA Tour.
I think the Mickelson,
he went too far.
I think the thing with think Mickelson I think he was beloved. I mean, Tiger Woods was always number 1. Mickelson was always number 2.
I agree.
And as long as Mickelson accepted that, it was a beloved number 2. But it's a lot of that's faded now.
It was almost like you should be number 1, but that dude is just
can't do it.
He would have been number 1.
Right.
I mean, when Phil won his PGA there and he was 50 or 49, it was the biggest deal of all time.
It was. Sure. And his Masters, when he finally won that was a big deal as well.
He's deflecting. Deflecting is what he's doing.
Tony, what's Phil's angles these days?
I find it ironic that he is trying to boost Live and where he's at by trying to get PGA to accept them into their tournament.
Yeah, if you don't need their tournament, then why are you trying to get into their tournament?
I don't know if he caught that when he said that. He's like, yeah, it would actually be better if you had us Live guys in your tournament.
Yeah. You shouldn't want to be in their tournament if the tournament's not good.
Yeah, no, I think Chris is probably spot on. I mean, listen, it's not bad for him to chime in here. He's got an opportunity to kind of put Liv on that platform and kind of push his league a little bit and in comparison to PGA. So it's not a bad play by him, but I think people can see through it though.
I mean, I loved Phil back in the days, but he has strayed far away from the Phil that I once knew.
He gambled his way out of my
See, he did that off the record, so I don't even know how much money he does, but I know it's a lot.
The thing that most people suffer from right now, like the power money combo.
Once he started complaining about offshore oil drilling, I was like, I'm not going to do the whole you're a golfer.
I can't
but
relate.
Still, I can't relate to you being invested into offshore drilling, so I'm not going to be angry about that.
Number 2.
Montana linebacker Solomon.
This is ridiculous.
Tulia Pupu. That's his name.
That is. It's not.
Is it? I tried it the other day, and that's not what I came up with.
What'd you come up with?
Not that.
It's spelled Tuliaupu.
I had Tulia Pupu. That's what I had.
Pupu.
That's what I had.
He turns 26 in March. He has been granted a 9th.
I think they should call him
Just call him OG at this point.
Old man.
That's what you should call him. Oh, what's up, oh?
Call him the what do you have when you get a 5th year? Oh, the eligibility god.
Oh.
So you don't have to spell his name.
What about are you an eligibility what's above a god because he's in his 9th year?
Not his 5th or 6th.
Well, Tulia Pupu is entering his 2nd season in Montana after starting at USC in 2018. He did have 2 major surgery requiring injuries. He had a foot injury in 2018 and knee injury in 2020. He missed his entire undergraduate career at USC. His 8th season overall in 2025 was just his 2nd full season played. He first saw the field as a redshirt senior in 2022. He missed all of 2023, and his 2024 season was cut short by illness before he went to Montana in 2025. So, Tony, should a 26-year-old be playing college football?
Ask the players on BYU.
At least those guys didn't play. They were on a mission.
That's what they tell us, Tony. They would go on a mission to, some of them went on. I don't want to throw them all in there. I know some of those guys really went on great missions and did a lot of good work. But I also know a lot of BYU athletes were going to, Omaha, Nebraska to lift weights and, get in shape and come back, so there was a little of that going as well. I just want to say.
I don't think that at 26, 9th year. I mean, how many shots you get?
I don't get it.
I mean,
okay, fine. You broke your foot. You broke your foot. You had 2 breaks the first 2 you didn't play. I can see you getting maybe those 2 back. But I mean, an illness?
When did the rules
maybe he was really sick?
Like, what?
Wasn't the rule, Tony? You had 5 years to complete 4 once you started.
Well, that's
long.
That has been.
So your answer is 26 is too old.
That's too old.
Chris, 26 too old to play college football?
I don't know that 26 is too old. 9 years is too many.
Okay, that's a better question. Is 9 years too many college football years?
Yes, but college basketball, if you can find your way on Nate Oates' roster, is okay. And he'll tell you it's okay too. I love the conversation. Did you see the press conference where he was grilled about the Bediako stuff? He spun every answer to favor what
He sounded like a politician when he was up there.
He really kind of did, yeah.
So that's it for that.
Nate Oates is going to be running for Alabama governor. You watch at some point.
Number 1.
If not either that or a judge, so he can rule in favor of Alabama athletes in the future.
Right.
So the Seahawks had their Super Bowl parade today.
Yes, they
did.
But
here's something that the Seattle public school system didn't let kids do. They didn't let them out of school for this parade. They said it's an unexcused absence if you go to the parade or if you don't show up to school, so you're not going to get any favors from us. I feel like this is a no-brainer. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. You let the kids go to the parade. Chris, should the kids go to the parade? Parade's over, by the way, now.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I think parade is not going to hurt anybody. Now, obviously, not every kid would go to the parade, so some of them would just get a day off. But I think I'd be okay with that. I think the experience is worthwhile in this instance. But I also see the other side. Do we not take more days off during the year than every other country combined?
I don't
know. Somebody'd have to do
true.
a study on that. But we get a lot of days off, like Monday, for instance.
I mean, we really only get like,
what,
7 or 8 holidays?
We get a few.
Tony?
Anyway, I'm going to be okay with this one.
I'm okay with it too, but I'm also okay with the school filling. If I'm not mistaken, in attendance for schools, like if that's for public schools, it's connected to like money you get for the
funding
grants and things of that nature.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you market an excused absence? You don't want the whole school like costing you grant money.
Yeah, you don't have kids going to school.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say they should let the kids go though.
All right, Tony and I bring you the rest of the way on the other side.
Not all.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love San Diego.
It has these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
It has these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Chris Ello, headed to Viejas. Aztecs taking on Colorado State. Rams, which should be a good one. It's two teams. What was it? What did he call it? A
slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker.
Which some people thought that word was offensive, and I was like, I've been hearing that word since I was a kid.
Was it?
It's basically just a knockdown drag out.
Right. That's all I know it as. I don't know where some of you guys'
people got their
minds are
minds in
thinking
the wrong place.
100%. Padres in Peoria. Spring training is here. Not officially because it's not full roster yet or full team, but pitchers and catchers showed up today. Joe Musgrove sightings. You got to see, few of, all the catchers are there. Your staff is there. Stam is doing his scrum. Speaking of scrum, what you
No,
you're
I'll
smacking
talk to
your
you
lips
about-
like you're
I know,
getting
I
ready to
was-
say something.
No,
there, buddy.
you're going in the right direction. I'll ask you later.
All right. You Darvish, obviously trying to figure out his situation, but still around the boys in training camp. And Craig Stammen was asked for the latest update on you Darvish and what role he'll be playing for the team this season despite not pitching.
Yusan, good friend of mine, obviously got to play together for a few years. He seems like he's in a great spot right now. Obviously, he's not going to pitch this year, coming back from Tommy John surgery. But, we love having him around the team. As much as he's willing to be around the team, we'll have him here. I know he's had a huge impact on a lot of our pitchers that are currently on the staff, specifically Randy Vasquez. He's trying to teach Randy how to be the Dominican Yu Darvish. So whenever Yu's here, he's got so much knowledge. We can't wait to have him back and be around the guys.
You come to the spring training spot, or does he go to the Japan right now?
Yeah, I think Yu's schedule is kind of up to him at this point. I know he wants to go to Japan and help with the Team Japan and the WBC, but he said he's going to be here at some point. Just we're kind of letting him have his space a little bit. Obviously, he's making decisions on what he wants to do with the future, but we're supporting him in every way we can.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to come to spring training and have to answer these questions about what I'm going to do and how am I going to get my money back? Because, that's what people are going to ask you.
That's the question.
So
right
he's
there.
going to stay as far away, at least for now, until he's comfortable and ready to answer questions. I always, the fun thing about being on a team like this is I should say one of the more interesting things is to find out like the odd couples that end up kind of, you wouldn't think that the two would be, hang out just from appearances. But when you're in that locker room and you get a chance to see some of these relationships form, they make sense. Vasky and you, believe it or not, makes sense when you're around these guys all day.
They're just pitching.
Well, Randy is like very, he's always paying attention and he's always seemingly like, standing in, listening, see him having conversations with you often. And so it's not strange to me that that's turned into Yu Darvish's kind of project, trying to make him the Dominican Yu Darvish. I don't think anybody would be mad at that at all.
I mean, I love to hear it. I'd rather have Yu Darvish giving advice than not giving advice.
In a lot of ways, in the same way that the Padres benefited probably from having Joe around last year.
True.
He's not necessarily a part of the team, but he's the type of guy that is more than willing to help or give some words of encouragement, whatever it may be. I think you fits that mold. The difference is he has a little bit more complication behind his story in terms of retirement, and as I said, whether some of that contract will be given back, however it ends up rolling. I think as the team is concerned, having Yu Darvish around would be a bonus, especially for a lot of young guys. And quite frankly, this is the best time of year to probably have Yu Darvish around, like in spring training when you can like be kind of in the lab, if you will, mess. Because once the season rolls out, there's less room for that unless you're a guy of Yu's caliber or Joe's caliber, like where you can experiment. Like Vasquez can't. I don't know that he can get out there and we just heard from Craig Stammen that it is not a guarantee. Now, I think he has a leg up for that 4th spot, but I don't even know if experimenting during spring training is something in the cards. We talked about this before, guys. There are certain guys that come into camp, a la Joe Musgrove, a la Nick Pivetta, a la Michael King. They can kind of ease their way and they kind of experiment their way if they choose to. Randy Vasquez, I don't think, is in that boat.
Doesn't sound
if
like
he comes out and he has a poor performance, I mean, he very well could still end up with a spot virtually out of, not a lot of options. But I think he's the type of guy that wants to come in and have a good spring from the get-go.
I really want Randy Vasquez to be great this year because I think Randy Vasquez is fun to watch. My question I was going to ask is, Craig Stammen has a very interesting dynamic with his group because he was teammates with some of these guys. And so my question was, do you think that Craig Stammen is a guy who's going to be able to have a tough conversation with a prior teammate? Because that's a different dynamic. It's like having your coworker all of a sudden your boss. That would be strange for me. So I'm not sure who Craig Stammen, the guy, is. He obviously seems like a great guy, but is he going to be able to have those tough conversations with guys that he knows and has history with?
Yeah, I think it'd probably be easy for him to have those conversations. He's been teammates with a lot of these dudes.
Yeah.
And I think if you haven't learned it yet in listening to Stam, he's very comfortable in his own skin. And like typically those type of dudes can have those conversations because they're not going to make it awkward or any more awkward than it already is, or any more weird than it already is, or more difficult, whatever it is. And listen, some of those conversations will be new for Stam. It's all part of the first yearness of him having to, have tough conversations when that time comes. To encourage guys, I think Stam's going to do good. I have no doubt he'll be fine.
Okay. I was also wondering, like, in a more fun way, what's he going to be like in game 114 when the media has asked him about somebody batting in the second spot all year?
We'll find out because he is Stam is as good of a dude, and
I can't see him being mad.
But I'm telling you, at some point, everybody gets on everybody's nerves at some point. It's 100
every single day you're being asked
and
that.
You're being asked questions that, if we're being honest, are very similar on a nightly basis.
Yes.
If you play a game that you win 4-2, you play a game that you win 5-3, there's probably going to be some similar questions either that night or the next day that you just be like, I've answered this.
You know what? You're stupid.
You want to say that, but you can't.
No, you can't say that. I mean, Mike Schilt, for the most part, didn't have many blow-ups, but you could tell when something got to him because he would give you that look.
He wasn't very good at kind of hiding that.
Yeah, he was not good at hiding. Let's go one more Craig Stammen. He was asked about Kyle Hart's role this year.
Kyle, we're probably going to stretch him out a little bit through camp. We'll see. Like, he can start. He can go in the bullpen, be a nasty lefty reliever if we need him, but he can also pitch multiple innings. So we'll get a good look at him this spring and then decide where he best fits, on the ball club.
Yeah, Kyle is in that 4 or 5 man race for the last 2 spots. I mean, we keep saying last 2, and I know Craig said that Randy is no guarantee, but
it's really the last one.
He's got a leg up. If it's his to lose, let's say that. He'd have to go out and pitch very, very poorly, I think, to fall out of contention for one of those 2 spots.
I like I know that this is going to be unpopular with people, but I liked what Kyle Hart did at the end of the year. I thought out of the bullpen, he was good for the Padres. I didn't feel like he was. I feel like when he started, he was a little bit overmatched because he didn't have the stuff. But out of the bullpen, he did a pretty good job for the most part late in the year.
I agree. I think that is his best ability, is probably being able to come out of the pen. But the pen is pretty stacked, though.
Yes, it is.
Where is there space for Kyle Hart? If Brian Hoeing is your long man, where else is there to go?
El Paso.
You got Matsui's. I mean, I guess he could take Matsui's spot, but I think Matsui's still better than him out of the bullpen. So there's your you got Morty Hone, and he ain't going nowhere. Miller. So you got Morty Hone, Estrada, Adam, Miller.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to include Rodriguez. You got Morgan. Who am I missing?
Did you say Matsui? I know you just brought him up.
Let's start over. Let's go with the big four. You got Estrada, Adam, Morty Hone, Miller. There's the big four.
Okay, we got it.
All right, you got Rodriguez, Morgan, that's 6. You got Matsui, that's 7. Am I missing somebody? Hoeing. There's 8.
I don't think there's anybody else.
So, I mean, you got 8 bullpen arms right there. You got a 2. Oh, Peralta.
I forgot about Wandy.
So
he's back.
There's 9.
Oh, people are gonna be so angry about Wandy.
So you got 3 lefties right there. Is Kyle better than any 3 of those? Any one of those 3?
He's gonna have to have a really good spring training. He's gonna have to have a really good.
Which is probably why they're stretching him out, right? There's probably not a spot for him in that bullpen, but you can't say there's a 5th spot is open. I mean, somebody's got to win it, whether it be JP, whether it be Kyle Hart, whether it be Matt Waldron. Who did we just sign somebody? Feel like
yes, Marco Gonzalez.
There's another lefty. So that competition is going to be stout, no doubt about it. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Chris rejoins us.
Yes.
Talk a little Major League Baseball.
We're gonna see how nerdy Chris really is.
We're gonna cut through some of these new rosters. Some of them will be the same. Some of them a little different. We'll talk about it next. More Gwynn and Chris. Here's some traffic.
From the
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. One hurt. That'll happen. They're really sure. Oh, you idiot. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything?
Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
That the happy hour is rolling on. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Mr. Scraby. And on a day when pitchers and catchers reported in Peoria, I thought it'd be a good day to take a look at some of the comings and goings in the National League this offseason, kind of refamiliarize everybody with what's been going on.
Some rosters look a little different.
A little bit, yeah, sure. I mean, the Padres, I think, were pretty aware of what they've done, signing the Korean infielder Song and re-signing Michael King and those moves, and maybe a couple of more before it's all said and done. But what about the rest of the NL West? Arizona, just a couple of days ago, brought in Carlos Santana. They had is it Carlos Santana?
Like the musician?
The musician? It's the same guy. Yeah. And that was a perfect rendition of Santana music, by the way.
Song I know is the one with Rob Thomas.
That was really good. So he's there. I don't know if he'll get first base or not. They have Pavin Smith who could play first or move Smith to DH. But it gives the Diamondbacks a little wiggle room there. Of course, they do have a new third baseman in Arizona. Nolan Arenado is back in the NL West, if you don't recall. I thought one of the interesting things, I hadn't heard this. Maybe you had, Tony, because you are closer to some of this stuff. But apparently Corbin Carroll suffered a broken hamate bone not that long ago, and probably isn't going to make it back for spring training. They haven't announced whether he'll start the season or not, but that's a big injury for Arizona. I mean, sometimes those handmade bones don't ever heal. Just ask Mike Trout, right?
I don't know.
I mean, they don't ever heal, but they can take longer.
Yeah, they
sometimes.
definitely take long. They definitely take. I broke my hamate in 2010.
Did they call it a hamate when you broke it?
Yeah,
Because I've never heard the word until the last 3 years.
Oh, this is
Tommy Pham had a broken hamate, but I'm with you.
This
Chris.
is a baseball injury specific because of especially depending on if you're a guy who has his edge of his hand off the knob, on top of the knob, that kind of torque can break that little bone in your hand. And,
I had no torque at the plate, so I never was a risk of any hamate damage, fortunately. But that is something that Arizona will be keeping an eye on. The Rockies have actually been one of the busiest teams in the National League West. I don't know how much it's going to improve their roster to add Edward.
You can't say that they aren't trying.
They are at least
they're trying to fix things at least.
Doing some things. Eduardo Julian is going to play first base. He's a former Rookie of the Year runner-up with the Twins, but hasn't done anything the last couple of years. Willie Castro, who finished with the Cubs, going to be there to play third base or at least start out there. Yeah. They added Jake McCarthy from Arizona for the outfield. So, and now last couple of days they added Jose Quintana and Tomoyuki Sugano, a couple of starters. So it's, look, from 43 wins, I don't know what they can expect, but it is something.
You can't roll out the same thing. So you definitely got to change some things up. And it seems like DiPodesto is busy at work over there.
I'm surprised. Dick Monfort must be on vacation, just not paying attention to the fact that somebody's actually trying to improve his team. Dodgers, we know they didn't do anything. They never spent any money. Of course they did. They added Diaz to close, and they added some guy named Kyle Tucker for right field. They're going to move Teoscar Hernandez to left. Otherwise, it'll look pretty much the same in L.A. Giants, I don't know if it's the biggest one, but Luis Ariz, who they say is going to play second base, apparently, Tony.
Yes.
They have Bryce Eldridge, a rookie that they are, saving first base for. Devers would be the DH. I don't know if they asked Devers if that's okay.
I feel like Rafael Devers has been.
You think he's been maligned enough?
I think he has been.
Okay, no more maligning for Devers.
I'm fair and balanced. When I think a player's getting maligned, I'm going to tell you.
Yes, fair and balanced.
Yeah. So you
exactly what I think.
You think we've gone over the Devers malign line?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Yes, we're over the malign line.
A couple of other starters for the Giants, Tyler Mahle and Adrian Hauser will join that rotation, which is on paper, pretty good at the top, of course, with Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. So that's the West. Let's go to
Corbin must have did that like yesterday.
What's that?
He must have broke his hamate yesterday.
Who? Corbin Carroll? It really was.
It had to have been yesterday.
I think it was so recent that I hadn't even seen it.
Because they wouldn't have been announcing him to be a part of the USA team.
And they said he's not going to be
earlier. So it must have been in like working yesterday. Everybody kind of getting back.
I just want everybody to understand this information you're getting right now is up to the minute information. Apparently, let's go to the NL Central. The Cubs. I guess to replace Kyle Tucker, it's Bregman, right, to go third base. They'll move Suzuki to right field, and they have another pitcher. This rotation the Cubs have could be scary.
Pretty good. Yeah,
you got Cabrera adding to Boyd, Imanaga, Horton, Talion, and the return of Justin Steele. That's some pretty good arms for the Cubs in the starting rotation. We'll see how that pans out. Cincinnati. The Reds, they added Eugenio Suarez. That's
a sneaky good signing.
Solid,
I like that. I mean, this is a team that made the postseason last year.
They were in there last year.
And now you add a dude who has been there before, probably pretty comfortable in that yard. You know what you're going to get from Eugenio is he's going to punch out
40 home runs,
but he's got that
yard.
He's got 50 home runs
50
power
potentially
in that yard.
Yeah, JJ Bleday was also added. He's going to play left field or at least start there for the Reds. Otherwise, pretty much the same Reds. Keep an eye on was it Chase Burns, the 110 mile an hour right-hander?
Another one they had.
Yeah, he was hurt in the playoffs last year. They couldn't use him in the postseason.
Got Burns and
they got
rotation.
Hunter Green.
Yeah, that rotation isn't too shabby.
Pretty good.
Dolo,
Abbott. And the guy we haven't mentioned, Brady Singer, actually had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
And our old friend Pierce Johnson has joined the Reds, where he'll be lined up with Emilio Pagan in the bullpen. The Milwaukee Brew Crew parted with their third baseman the other day, Chad Durbin. They traded him to the Red Sox.
Oh, is his name Chad?
Why did you call him?
I called him Blake Durbin yesterday.
Blake Durbin. Yeah, that's his cousin, Blake Durbin.
Is his name Chad?
It is Chad.
I did not catch you saying
Rarely
Blake.
am I accurate, by the way, on this, but I think I got this one right.
Okay.
Blake Durbin.
Yeah, right now they've got a
OBD.
They got a rookie. I think it's David Hamilton who's going to slot in at third base. So the Brewers are going to go rookie at third base.
This
Although
dude's
that could
about to go
change
ham.
around.
I mean, every time the Brewers put somebody in these
They go
spots,
crazy, right? Yeah,
they go nuts.
Yeah. Otherwise, Brewers are pretty much the exact same way they finished up last year. Pittsburgh, a lot of moves in Pittsburgh, similar to the Rockies, right? They're trying to at least show they're doing something. Ryan O'Hearn, our old, my old,
your best
favorite
friend.
player. Yeah, he's going to get a look at first base. If not there, he'll DH. Although now Marcell Ozuna's been signed, I would think he'd be the DH. So O'Hearn will probably play first. Brandon Lau, former All-Star from Tampa Bay, is in Pittsburgh now. So a couple of new names there. And look, I don't know how long it's going to be before the Pirates starting rotation just becomes, comes of age. Because with Skeens and Bubba Chandler and the injured Jared Jones, they got three guys that are top, picks that are, who knows if they'll all ever take off. And they also have a guy to keep an eye on, Connor Griffin, 19-year-old shortstop. I'm bringing him up because they're talking about this guy like he had the best minor league season in history last year. He had an OPS over 1,000. He stole 65 bases. He's 19 years old. He could make the opening
That is
day
kind of a good
roster.
Good. Those are some good stats.
Something to keep an eye on. Yes. St. Louis Cardinals all of a sudden have kind of fallen off, right? The Cardinals were a contender pretty much all the time. The addition I see here is the orange hair guy, Dustin May, going to be the front of the Cardinal rotation. I don't know how he'll like that. He's not going to be winning as much as he did in the past.
What was the name that Jesse had for him?
Oh,
was it a Red Rocket?
That sounds nice. Let's just go with that because I can think of something.
Yeah,
things
no,
that
it
aren't
wasn't. It wasn't not a nice
that
name.
aren't
It was.
as nice.
It was a nice name that he had.
Cardinals. Obviously, Arenado's gone. Third base. Keep an eye on a guy named Thomas Weatherton, another rookie, second baseman, third baseman, AAA, dominated last year. They're saying he could be the newest guy for the Cardinals. But other than that, they didn't really go out and add anybody. We'll slip through the NL East real quick. Atlanta Braves.
They'll bounce back this
Mike
year.
Yastrzemski is a Brave now.
I like that fit. I
Yeah,
like that
he
fit
will
for him.
get a look out there with Profar or, DH and whatever he'll do. Mauricio Dubon is now kind of the de facto shortstop because they were counting on Hassan Kim. That's
true.
And Hassan is hurt. They could go elsewhere there, but that's kind of the way
Dubon's
it
a good
looks
player
right
because
now.
he gives him some versatility. He can play the outfield
right.
too.
Yeah, Reynaldo Lopez, who I believe helped lead Scraby to a fantasy championship a couple years ago at my urging.
Yes, this is true.
Is coming back from injury. And do you think Robert Suarez will stay the eighth inning guy all year behind Iglesias? That's how it's slotted.
Once Iglesias
Does
coughs
his
one
Iglesias
up.
things.
coughs a couple up,
Yeah, it
you
seems
can
like
always. Oh, we can go to our eighth inning guy. He'll
Suarez
probably
is,
do a good job.
Suarez is on standby there.
I'm trying to show you guys my hamate scar, but I don't know if you can see it anymore. But it runs like right there.
Oh, I thought it just meant that you were in for a long love life. I thought it was the end of your
He's palm reading.
reading.
I guess that could be a part of it as well. But
I don't even want to show Chris my palms.
Yeah,
It's
is it
gonna show
short?
early
Is it
death.
just short line? Short line there. Miami Marlins. Not really. I'll give you this. They got. I think you like this guy, Tony. Peter Fairbanks.
Oh, Pete
Closer.
Fairbanks.
Pete Fairbanks.
Yeah.
Gonna close
Yeah.
for the Marlins. You've always said you
He was
liked
the
him.
one who was
hilarious.
like,
and he's nasty.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was the one who was like, after giving up a game, he goes, I'm going to take the next 15 minutes
Right,
to
yeah.
beat myself up, and then I'm going to get over it.
Yeah. The other one that the Marlins are
He
kind of
was dead serious.
Yeah, he
the
was.
Marlins are hoping that Owen Casey, the former Cub prospect,
Former Padre
who they
prospect.
got back in the Cabrera trade, can take over as a starting outfielder. New York Mets have a lot of different Polanco, Semien, and Bichette. all shortstops or in middle infielders joining the injured Francisco Lindor in that infield. How they'll set that up is anybody's guess. Luis Robert goes to center. We talked about the other day, Soto going to move to left. And, God, the Mets got Freddie Peralta and Devin Williams and Luke Weaver.
And Jorge Blanco.
I mentioned him.
Oh.
I mentioned him in the infield grouping with Semien and Bichette.
Oh, that's right.
The middle
Yeah.
infielders.
It's a lot. The Mets have a new look, and I don't know. The Mets never win that division, though. They always kind of, box it up and then do something as maybe a wild card. Philadelphia Phillies, really, it's pretty much the same group.
Yeah, running it back
for the Phillies, although Adolis Garcia is now a Philly. And if he hits like he did in the World Series a few years ago, that's bad luck for everybody.
It's a good yard for him.
They'll obviously try to replace the pitching of Ranger Suarez. Don't forget they picked up Duran at the end of last season as their closer. So they start the year with him now in Philadelphia. And finally, the Washington Nationals. And I don't see a whole lot of additions here. Yeah, they really, Mackenzie Gore is gone. They've talked about trading C.J. Abrams. I've heard that many different times. James Wood is back. But I don't see a lot to recommend in terms of newcomers to our friends in Washington. So there you go. Now everybody's up to date.
Deep dive.
Heading into spring training, up to the minute information.
Very nice.
And more Gwynn and Chris headed your way.
Indeed.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love San Diego, and this isn't...
5:37 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby. Kind of went through that National League, American League kind of facelifts on the rosters out there. That was fun.
I wish everybody could see how Chris does it, though, because he types
It's very
everything
meticulous.
out.
Very, very meticulous.
Yes.
He's got like, I'm talking
Color-coded.
Sometimes you would need like a microscope to see his handwriting. It's so small.
Oh,
at
that
times.
too.
Or a
too.
magnifying glass. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like he's you can see in his work, you can see the OCD.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
In his work,
yes.
you can see the OCD.
And everything, it has to be aligned correctly on the page. I remember when we first started, he had an eraser.
I wonder, is he using a ruler? Like even
no, I think he prides himself on being,
just knowing,
just
being
able to do it.
I could see that. For those of you who may have been waiting for another signing for the Padres pitching side, you can take this gentleman off the list, and I'll tell you who it is in a second. But first, got some business to get to. Kari Johnston of Lakeside. That's right, Kari Johnston of Lakeside. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season. It'll be catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. That name that I mentioned is Chris Bassett, former Blue Jay, former Met. Yeah, he was out of our price range. Yeah. 1 year, 18.5.
Wow.
I didn't see that coming.
Wow. I didn't see that coming either.
18.5. I know this. It would have been a steal getting him at I mean, he's I think he fits the 4-5 mold probably as good as you can possibly get.
He was probably more of a, in my mind,
probably
10 to 12, maybe 13.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see Bassett being a 3 on most teams. Quite frankly,
he was good last year.
He would have been great as a 4.
Yeah, he pitched well in the World Series too.
But the Orioles, listen, the Orioles they're trying to bounce back. They had a very disappointing season, had to clean house, new manager, and not clean house in the sense of they went out and made it, but they've brought in some guys that they think can kind of get them back on track. We'll have to find out. All right. Earlier in the show, we had Sam Levitt, the great, join us live from Peoria Sports Complex. If you missed it, you get a chance to hear it right after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the San Diego District Attorney's Office. Well, that big rig crash from 11 o'clock this morning really did a number on your North 15 ride in Mission Valley. All lanes still blocked at the 8. Traffic being diverted off at west and eastbound 8, northbound 15. This is all due to a fuel spill left over from that. That big rig is off the road, however. Also, northbound 15 past Felicita, reports of a stalled vehicle partially in that right lane. In the Forest Ranch area, going to find a Surface Street accident, Forest Ranch Parkway at Camino del Norte. And in the Granite Hills area, fatal accident, intersection of La Cresta Road and Greenfield Drive. Falsely reporting your car as stolen or intentionally getting into an accident for the insurance payout is illegal. The San Diego County District Attorney's Office and the California Department of Insurance work together to investigate this costly fraud. For more information, visit SanDiegoDA.com or call 1-800-315-7672. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Sammy Levitt joining us from spring training, presented by David P. Shapiro, the fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. By the way, Sam mentioned that Corbin Carroll thing. That didn't come down all that long ago, so you may not have heard, but he's broken his hamate bone apparently and is undergoing surgery.
Yeah.
And so he may or may not be ready for the start of the season. That is certainly significant.
Jackson Holiday has the same exact injury.
Baltimore's
another broken hamate.
young player. Yeah, so those are significant.
Just so
bits
you guys
of
know,
news.
we don't need any like deep dives into why all the broken hamates. It's like the third one. I'm sure people are like, what's going on?
There's a story on MLB.com if you want to read it, Tony. They wrote it today.
The year of the hamate is the title.
They didn't mess around.
It's coming. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Sammy Levitt's hamate, we figure is fine. What are you working on at spring training this year, Sam? Any maybe a little different way of presenting some of your questions, the way you approach some of the athletes? Are you trying to improve your game at all, or you feeling pretty comfortable with your attack plan there?
I feel pretty comfortable. I would say that, I think for me, honestly, I think spring training is not really the time to quote unquote work on stuff because it's kind of on.
Yeah,
it's kind of on. I mean, you're doing your interviews and you're asking your questions. So I think the off season is the time really for career development.
Well, you were busy shooting all of those videos of you getting out of bed. I don't know if you had a chance to practice as much as usual.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. If I don't show social media how I tie my shoes, then I'm in trouble.
They don't think it happens if you don't show.
Exactly. But no, I mean, look, I think it's a good time of year, both for myself and for others to talk to the guys. It's a very, as you guys know, very relaxed environment. I don't think you, for lack of a better term, get this level of sort of chill at any point during the regular season. It's just more relaxed, and the access to the players is great. For me right now, the first couple of days, I kind of, just because it's such a long spring training and I have so many days and opportunities to do interviews, first few days here, I generally try to just talk to guys off camera, say hello, how was your off season, you have a good winter, kind of stick to some of the scrums that go on, and just sort of kind of set the base level for the rest of the spring and the rest of the season, and kind of reestablish my relationships with the guys. But from a spring training standpoint, I'm doing the same thing. I mean, we'll do lots of interviews and we'll do the radio hits, and I think we've put out a ton of videos on social media the first couple of days. My goal is to be the sort of the eyes and ears of the fan at spring training and let people inside that aren't here. So first couple of days, I think we've accomplished that.
I just want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Levitt is a pro. All right, and I'm gonna explain to you why he's a pro. He has this one ability that many people don't have, and it's a rare ability. It's called reading the room. All right, and the first couple of days as a player, when you get there,
you don't want the guy running you over in the locker room.
You can't appear to be thirsty. You have to kind of, as Sam is doing an excellent job, kind of,
ease your
way into these relationships again. You don't want to just pop in the first day and be like, hey, let me grab you for like 15 minutes and we can chop shop here. No, I mean, let's.
I've been saving up a bunch of questions for you.
Like real people, like people your colleagues. You kind of ease your way into it. Sam, displaying that.
I think this year in particular, a couple other thoughts on that. There's a new staff.
Yep.
A bunch of those guys I don't know. Now there are familiar faces on the staff as well, but a good example, Randy Knorr and Steven Souza Jr. I've never met them in my life. So, Steven spoke with the media yesterday, but later in the day, I went up to him and said, hi, I'm Sam. And, I'm pre and post game guy, and, maybe kind of, try to make sure that he knows my name for the next time that we speak. So there's a little bit of that going on with the new staff. And you're right. Look, I think a lot of times I almost reintroduce myself to some of these guys, not everybody.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Guys who have been there for a few years and I've known now for 4 or 5 years. I don't have to do that necessarily, but there are guys that were up and down from AAA last year where I don't know that they necessarily remember my name. They don't have to remember my name. So, there's a little bit of that. The first few days I like to kind of, from an interview standpoint, other than scrums, which I'm going to be at, kind of ease my way into it a little bit.
And I point out that it's a different role than maybe AJ Cassavell or Dennis Lynn, because, Sam is in essence a part of the team. They're going to see Sam, guys. Right. They're going to see Sam every day. And so he's approaching it the right way. Sam, obviously pitchers and catchers have started to do their thing. Mm-hmm. First day for position players is when?
I think it's Sunday.
Okay. First full practice is Monday. I do know that, but
it's Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, is Monday? I think it's Sunday. Don't quote me. I should know that off the top of my head. But
How many guys are? How many of the
position
position players?
Quite a few
are out there right now.
Yeah, quite a few. I mean, as of yesterday and today, Jackson Merrill, Ramon Laureano, Xander Bogaerts, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth. There are others as well. Bryce Johnson. I'm trying to think who else I've seen. There are others that I'm not including, but those are the major guys that are there, which is great to see. And those guys, are taking swings. Miguel Andujar arrived today and was doing work, I think, with Vinny Lopez, on some of the backfields. And now this is something I'm going to keep an eye on and is interesting. I saw Miguel Andujar with a first baseman's mitt on. I did not see him do any work with the mitt. I got there a little bit too late. So I'm not going to tell you his first day as a Padre.
They were introducing themselves to one another.
Yeah, but that's interesting. If he's taking reps at first base, that would raise my antenna a little bit because he's not played there a lot, but it would be kind of a slot where you could play him. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself there because I didn't see it. And again, you know what it is, Tony? I also, one thing I try to do early on, I try not to take something I see and make it a bigger deal than what it is.
It's very easy to.
If I see a hitter, and there's one I'm thinking of in particular the last couple of days, but I'm not even going to tell you who it is because I don't want to make it a story. If I see them doing something differently in their setup, I don't know, on February 10th on a backfield when they're not even at report date yet, am I really going to
great point.
Dive into that? I mean, maybe at some point, if I start seeing it more, you go and ask them about it. But, same thing with hey, had a first baseman's glove on. I just, it's not even their report date yet. Yeah. So I don't want to read into that too much. But those are the guys that certainly are here and getting, early work in, which is, always good to see.
I would like to be interrupted on the show the next time you see anybody with a first baseman's glove on, Sam.
Yeah.
Stop everything.
Well, I do think with the Andujar piece of it, I do think if he's really getting a lot of reps over there, I do think that'll be worth noting. I just don't know that I'm ready to do that on day one with the Padres.
I think it would be smart of Miguel Andujar. I mean, he played third base a while ago. He's not going to play there very often, and I don't see him in the outfield often with what the Padres have. Sam Levitt is with us. Sam, this is your own opinion. You don't have any insight on this question, but it was brought up the other day that, if a first baseman became available, like a good everyday first baseman, solid guy that's done it before, the name that was mentioned is Christian Walker. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody of that ilk. Would you be willing to trade a young up-and-coming reliever like a Bradley Rodriguez, perhaps, because you're so deep in the bullpen to give yourself an everyday more of a sure thing at first base?
I'd consider it. I think the more you look at this team, and it always comes, I think, into a bit of a clearer picture once you get here to spring training, because you really start looking at the guys and thinking about the guys and thinking about the roster. Man, I think this bullpen could be really, really good. Really, really good. And I do think dealing from a position of strength and luxury wouldn't be a crazy idea if that was sort of a centerpiece in a deal for something you really need. And if you want to use Christian Walker as an example, not only can he play first base, but he hits for a lot of power, which that would serve two needs. So, and then allow you to kind of shift guys down the roster and, push Gavin Sheets back into a little bit of a different role potentially. And even, you want to throw Andujar in that conversation as well. So, it would intrigue me. And that bullpen group, whether you're talking about Bradley Rodriguez or some of the other guys that are more established, not that I'm trying to move a Mason Miller or Adrian Morejon. I understand they are and how valuable they are. But a guy like Walker is pretty valuable too. So, I'd sit down and have the conversation about it if that's something that's on the table. Yeah.
Sam Levitt joining us, giving us his spring training point of view. And Sam, obviously, this rotation at the top specifically, you mentioned just Joe getting back on the mound was probably really nice to see. You got Pivetta, you got King back. At some point, I'm sure one of you guys is going to pitch that question to Stam, who's going to get the opening day start. I'm gonna ask you right now, based off of just your 2 days, who do you think is going to be?
I would think it's going to be Pivetta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Joe would be cool for a lot of reasons, but it kind of feels like it's got to be Pivetta after what
He's kind of earned
last
it,
year.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I would think it's going to be Pivetta. Yeah. Joe would be cool. That'd be a really cool moment for him and the city and the Padres, but I feel like he probably would even say it should be Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, I think he would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way,
the Tigers struggled against Randy Vasquez last year. No.
Well, speaking, I was actually going to bring Randy up.
Actually, I don't think they did, if I recall that game. He didn't pitch great. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of Randy, that was one thing that Craig Stammen talked about today. And I think a lot of us have assumed that Randy's going to be in this rotation and have that number 4 spot. And it'll really be about the number 5 spot where there's a real opening and battle. And obviously that if somebody gets signed of significance, then things change a little bit. But, even with that said, it's not like Craig Stammen today came out and said, he is not, to me, grouping Randy in the other 3.
No, he's not.
He said inside track.
He said it. He basically said it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Randy has earned certainly a strong inside track. I would be very, 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 very surprised if Randy is not in this rotation at this point. And by the way, Craig Stammen spoke glowingly about him and what he did last year and how he's developed and continued to admit that they that they're trying to get from him. But again, you never know. If Randy doesn't have a good spring and there are other guys that are shining, who knows? And obviously a signing or two could change a lot as well. But I did think that was interesting today that Craig sort of stopped short at putting Randy in that definitive conversation, or that definitive group of starting pitchers, but did say, and I think this is absolutely true, that he has an inside track. But Randy, I think Randy should feel like, hey, yeah, he's in a good position, but he's got to put together a good spring.
Sammy Levitt.
Once again, thank you to Sammy Levitt. Great. I believe the Scrappy Chronicles are up next. Enjoy. Have a good night. Stay warm.